It's Around the Mage Table. This is episode 42 for the podcast for the rest of us. I'm going to say good evening, actually good late evening to our host tonight. So we'll start with Ioski. How you doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Now, Ioski, we're starting late because of you. How dare you? What were you so busy doing?
I was at a friend's house playing Kingsport Festival, the Cthulhu Kingsburg board game.
Ugh. A friend? Ugh. Okay.
Yep, real life. Yep, it's crazy. I know.
Scrapclaw, how are you doing tonight, other than being upset about Cartoon Network's closure?
No, we can't start it up again because I could go on about. There's a lot of topics I can go on about. Luckily, I only subject you to the WoW ones.
Well, it started with Spirit, the movie, and I told you that my feelings about it. And then...
No, don't start. I have to keep my focus on my WoW yapping.
Yeah, fair enough. And Lithian, how are you doing today?
I was doing pretty good, except for that last key we ran where Scrap caused us to not be able to time it, and I was really sad about it.
Well, can I give a little background? It's Wednesday, and I don't know if you guys have played on Wednesday, but there was like a crazy disconnecting spree, or DDoS or something. I guess we'll find out tomorrow what happened if they come out about it. But yeah, I got kicked at the last boss of a 10, and we didn't time it.
Wow.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hold on.
Hold on.
You guys hear that?
I do.
Oh. Who's that?
Is that? No
it's
way.
Shawnee. Where'd you come from, buddy?
Yeah, I was just in my player housing.
Oh, okay. That's what we call in the industry foreshadowing. Okay. So, Shawnee, you're here for a very important reason, but we felt like it was just nonsense to just tuck you away until the end. So you're going to be coming along for the ride today. And
yes,
the first thing I'd like to talk about today is something that you actually have expertise in, I think, amongst the rest of us not, which is Blizzcon is returning September 2026. I think it's the 12th and 13th. And we were discussing this before we got started, that maybe it's time for the Mythic Dungeon League to attend as a group, as a podcast, as maybe even a guild, Blizzcon. And so first off, just give us your thoughts on how much fun you had there and whether we should do it. Then we'll ask everyone else if they're going to come.
Well, had a great time at BlizzCon. I cried during the opening ceremonies, 100%, because I was just like a dream come true and wanted to go for quite some time. Never thought it would happen. And I think it'd be great to go as a group and have shirts and be like quasi cool kids. And everyone be like, who are they?
Sure.
And
it's like, going to be we're indifferent to Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it'd be fun. Like, my friends rented a house when I went, and we had a good time. And it is right next to Disney, so that is also a bonus. We can make a little Disney trip.
I didn't think about renting a house. We could have a guild banner.
Yeah, I was going to say, Lithian, we're definitely going to have to rent like some sort of mansion they use for
my God.
Like, movie sets or something.
Yeah, I'll decorate it.
Nice. You'll decorate.
I'll Scrap. I could ship my tattoo stuff out.
I
can tattoo while we're there.
I mean, I guess we could. I will say technically that's not legal
you can't
in
do
the
that
state.
In California?
No, you have to be licensed in the state to do it. But nobody will have to know about it.
Do you guys mind not talking about illegal activities on this podcast?
You know what? I'll bring my stuff. We'll see what happens. Anything could happen.
Is he even allowed to work with your stuff?
I can
for it, right?
I'm not working. It's free tattoos.
Yeah, I want an MDL tattoo on my butt.
Yeah,
let's go.
Just tattooing the homies and hanging out.
I had a little spot
just a lot of butts being looked at that weekend.
I'm not opposed to it. Just nobody snitch, okay?
Yeah.
So is it fair to say then, and again, I know Ioski's going to be leaving us for a Mythic Guild any day now. He's trying out Friday, which is why we're recording today instead of Friday. But he might still join us anyways.
He will join us. Why not?
Well, he lives in Buffalo.
Shawnee lives in Canada.
Yeah, but Shawnee will drive 40 years to get anywhere he wants.
I can get on a plane. I live right by an airport.
Yeah, he lives by an airport. Why wouldn't he join us?
No, I'm joking, obviously. I'm trying to give him a hard time because he's
seriously.
now Mythic IO instead of Ioski.
Wow.
So, that said, I think, well, one, I appreciate, because I thought they were going to do one this year. I appreciate that they gave us a year's heads up that we can properly plan this, because we could go and like look for Airbnbs right now and probably get them pretty cheap.
Or a Verbo.
Or we're an equal opportunity, house timeshare.
Are you sponsored by Verbo, Shawnee?
No, that's what my friends got last.
You know what?
Last time was a Verbo, and it was a really good deal.
You know what?
And they
If
said it
either
was
of those
better
two
on Airbnb.
if they want to
Nice.
sponsor us, we'll be happy to accept that as a sponsorship. But yeah, I think it'd be great. And of course, LA and Anaheim are awesome in and of their own rights. We probably, I mean, I don't know about you, Lithian, or anyone else, but I think I'd get there maybe a day or two early just to roam LA. And
That's where I'm from,
Well, you seem like a California girl.
Yeah.
You didn't grow up there though.
No, I wasn't born there, but I did grow up there.
You grew up
More
there?
or less, yeah.
More or less.
My
Probably
dad was
less.
military, so I was all over the place. But
Yeah, mine was.
But
too.
you were in LA or instead of like Sacramento or San
Westlake,
Diego?
which is nearby LA,
Okay.
and like Ventura is like where my aunt lives. So it's all suburbs of LA.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Anything else you want to add on BlizzCon other than actually, what do you guys think will be announced? Do you think like a new Diablo expansion, Shawnee?
Well, the new one comes out this year, so them announcing one next. Oh yeah, no. Diablo
Are you sure? 'Cause they
expansion.
haven't even announced one.
No,
have
it's
they?
coming. No, the new expansion comes out next year. They announced that it will be out next year.
Oh, okay.
I mean, next year they'll announce whatever's after War Within. I mean, after Nightshade, they'll announce that next year.
You mean
So-
Midnight?
Exciting.
Yeah, after midnight or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. I think we'll get the Last Titan reveal there. I think you're right about that.
Yeah, and I mean they'll probably do something for
Yeah.
Diablo, and then
I bet
Yeah.
you they're gonna have the Last Titan trailer, and it's gonna have like Illidan, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, cool, Illidan."
Yeah.
I feel like just for the sake of being that guy, I'm going to try to overreact as much as I possibly can.
yeah, me too.
Well, Shawnee said he cried, so I think I can
Yeah.
get a couple tears out. Like
I will not. I will not.
I will not. Okay.
So, all right. So what? This is 18 months from now. Does the podcast still go strong by that point? What do you think?
I would, if we're guaranteeing
Scrap is not confident.
I will
Didn't say anything.
sign the paperwork to rejoin the podcast if we're going to go to BlizzCon.
Oh, I think we definitely would
Well-
at the very least record. I mean, we probably wouldn't do anything live or anything. But we
But I mean,
record an
like,
episode
I'd
there.
sign up. I would sign up back. I mean, I'd sign the contract you sent me to rejoin as a free agent.
You would accept those terms? Those were really, deplorable terms.
I would accept the team-friendly terms, as they say. Give you the hometown discount.
I'll say.
So,
Oh, go on, Lithian.
why don't you come to Gen Con this year? You can hang out
I
with us.
Can't go to Gen Con because I'm trying to plan a trip to California for December.
Oh,
Okay.
And
He
2026.
goes all over the place.
No, this year. And
Yep.
next September now also.
Oh wow.
yeah.
I will say if we still have like by then, what we have now, which is like, plus or minus 1,000 views each episode, 30 commenters and a couple of fans who watch every time. That will make me happy. If we can keep that, if we just keep it rolling.
I
don't
don't
need to get
see
super
why
big.
I honestly feel like the only reason it would fall apart is because
Oh, we're
mostly
not gonna fall apart.
No, but I mean like the podcast would fall apart, not us. But
But like we
Well,
were
it's just
doing
the
it when we
effort
only
and energy.
well we were doing it when we only had 3 to 15 views. So
Yeah.
I don't know that's how low can we get? We can't get less than 3 views.
I
Like,
mean,
there's 3 of
I'm-
us, so
I'm so
You don't
committed
view
that
it.
I'm gonna
I
I'm
already
gonna
know.
start. I downloaded stuff today to start streaming on Twitch to like.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
know.
go. You
So
can join
I'm
our
trying
party,
to figure that
dude.
out. Yep.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
thinking
Frank
about
can
getting on
put-
there too.
Maybe Frank can put all you guys' Twitch names up, like because
I don't have
Lithian
one
and
yet, but
well, put
No,
put up
no,
your
we're gonna
future one.
we're gonna
You-
stream together.
Yeah.
have it by
so
Monday.
the stream is being consumed right now by the fact that the Race to World First
Yeah.
is going. So that's okay, like it's fine. But we are still getting, I'd say for our channel, decent viewership. And we're gonna start adding Lithian to co-stream alongside so we can see all our reactions when Shawnee runs into 4 gears on Mechagon.
it was
I
3.
just laughed.
It was
It
3.
was 3. Yeah.
But it did kill him each time.
Because I think that would be definitely meme worthy for any of, I mean, and myself included, Shawnee. I'm not singling you out because I'm sure there's
Yeah,
plenty of times
no.
where my face is even equally as astonishing.
Can I give a suggestion, Frank, for your
Oh
viewership?
no, here
Just
we go.
put Race to World first in your title.
Oh, no. Race the world last.
Yeah, race world first. Just say gearing race world first. You know, like they think you're doing keys to get gear. Yeah. And then they'll be like, what the fuck? How is this?
I'll try tomorrow. Well, they'll see us in heroic, but not know it's heroic. And
no. Do it when we're doing keys because because you're gearing for world first.
No, keys. It's not so hard because I'll put Arcane Mage in my title, and that will draw people in.
Really?
Because they want to see a perspective of.
They want to see the only Arcane Mage that's streaming.
Yeah, actually, no. Don't get me started on that because that's also just I'm the only Arcane Mage. Period.
Yeah,
especially on Nessingwary.
Since you don't do Keystone Kindergarten anymore, you should make Arcane Guides.
Dude,
you should make an Arcane Guide.
I want to do Keystone Kindergarten. I want to, but it's so time consuming and no one watches
it.
Yeah.
So that's whatever. And maybe next time I just like I said, I enjoyed the process. I was actually talking to my boss today about it because she's like floored by the idea that we have a podcast and that we're like so in tune with all this stuff.
You are.
And she said, and first and foremost, she's like, do you have a second life where you're able to do all this? And I go, no, I just never sleep and I'm dying slowly. But yeah, like, I mean, just the idea that I just love creating content. I love, making those videos. They were just fun to make for me. They took like 40 hours each.
Yeah.
So I now understand why streamers or Dratnos or anyone on YouTube and Quasi included, this is their full-time job because it does take that kind of, to get like high quality.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, let's get to the actual content of today. You guys okay with that?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it.
All right. So we're just going to kind of put a bow on this story because we talked about it in the first time and they just updated this a couple hours ago. But they have introduced a new visualization for Warbreaker in the Arms Warrior. I'm going to play it real quick just so we can all look at it.
Hell
there it is right there.
That's it? Fuck you, them.
So,
can you do a glyph where you can change it back?
Look, okay. I didn't agree with the complaints to begin with, other than my critique was that maybe just not all the weapons flying all over the place.
It was such a hot topic.
Yeah, and I'm surprised they wanted a more muted approach to it. Now, granted, we haven't seen any comments because this is so new. We haven't seen any comments to see if this is liked or not.
Well, they better like it. This is what they asked for.
I don't care about warriors.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that remember when the Ascendance form for Shaman was revealed and everybody hated it, and they were like, "Oh, we made it optional." I think they should do that with this. Like, when was the last time they added new glyphs? Like, glyphs used to be a really fun part of the game. Now it's like you have to search. You're like, okay, every time I pick up a new class, I'm like, what are the fun glyphs I can have? And there's like 3. It's like, oh, your thing is blue instead of purple. It's like, okay, whatever. Let's have more glyphs. Bring back glyphs, and you should make. You did so much work on the animation, and I'm sure there's tons of people who like it. So just make it a glyph.
It is surprisingly
red.
Yeah. Why?
I thought that was just a visual bug. So that is a glyph.
Yeah, it's a glyph.
Oh, okay.
What that makes what red?
My AMS.
Yeah, and you can make it blue and green too. You can have it make it all
green is
specs.
the default.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know why glyphs aren't such a prevalent thing in the game because I feel like it's low hanging fruit for them to just make something really fun out of a profession. I know inscriptionists have other they have those profession things that they can build, and I think they can build staves and bows, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah. Just goes to show
leatherworking, I think.
Well, it just goes to show though, like inscriptionists, I think it somewhat of a rind of the deal.
Look, I would
inscription is probably the worst one.
But I would have a glyph I have all the glyphs on every character. You can turn them on and off, right?
Yeah.
But I want to complete it. So if they added 3 more glyphs, even if I wasn't going to use them, I'd be like, well, maybe I want to use them. I would buy them. So I don't know why. I don't know why they don't just throw it in as a fun nod. There's tons of random engineering crap that's just like a one-off thing, that you make every season. So bring glyphs back.
They would need an artist to work on all the glyphs changes, right? But you would think that it would just
green,
be
turn it purple.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just take the spell effect into Blender or whatever they use.
I mean, there's a couple of people that work at Blizzard,
A couple at least, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, we got a new dungeon this patch, which was out of the norm, and I suspect because we've gotten some hints as to where we're going next. Maybe they'll take the Argus treatment where they give us 2 or 3 more dungeons in the next season.
What about a mega dungeon?
Well, so if they do a mega dungeon, that's effectively 2 new dungeons, which they might do as well. fingers crossed for me. I like I said, I love seeing new dungeons. I love Operation Floodgate already.
Well, they've done a mega dungeon in every one since Legion, so
yes.
So why wouldn't they have it in this?
Karazhan, yeah. Well, just because they may have changed their philosophy and said, okay, now we won't do a mega dungeon. Now we'll do one new dungeon every season.
But everybody loves mega dungeons, so I don't know why.
I like them.
They would cut that.
I feel like if they were gonna do a mega dungeon, they would have had it on that roadmap because usually they do.
They do. Oh,
dude,
I'm sad.
They're gonna sneak it in there, man.
I really feel like the mega dungeons. I don't know if it's just. I don't know why they're just so much better than any other dungeon. Like they're so iconic. Tazavesh, Mechagon, Chromie Dungeon. I don't remember what it's called. I'm sorry. Karazhan's great.
Like didn't have one for this maybe.
But the point being is this though, right? Because we're now going back to our original. The artists that are required. Now, they had that company, I think it was based out of Boston that they bought, which was supposed to be this company that was like really good at the art and environments and stuff like that would allow them to create more dungeons, I assume, and more, zones, whatever. So, hopefully that does free up capacity to do things like that. But again, Glyphs just was such a good idea. And yes, they didn't give it the love it deserved from the get-go, really. Mm-hmm. But, we've talked about the PoE experience where you can go into the store and essentially buy different portals and different, spell effects and how they look and all that stuff. And it's entirely cosmetic, but it would be pretty amazing to change up a lot of the stuff that you do. But anyways, let's keep moving.
We're talking about Warbreaker? Yeah.
Sure.
Thumbs up. I don't care.
I think this is downgrade though. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I think it's lame, but whatever. I don't care. They got what they wanted. So
I think I don't care.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we're just trying to make sure Bach has a reason to watch the podcast. Okay. All right.
I love
Blizzard
Bach.
is considering now. Did we? I can't remember if I know we talked about the patch coming out.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
And did we talk about the enchants?
We did,
yeah.
Okay, good. So it looks like they're considering moving these effects to non-weapon slots. Now, I only bring this up because weapon slots are usually the most powerful enchant in the game anyways. These are going to be powerful. However, it might be more fun to not put them on weapon and allow maybe because I don't think they have a gloves enchant. And, well, they never, I don't think they've done but maybe one shoulder enchant.
Dude, give me a shoulder one, man.
They haven't done a head enchant for a little while. I think
look at the shoulders on this.
On Xalatath?
Well, I want little floaty things.
Those are cool.
Would it be a good idea to do a shoulder enchant and then have a visual effect to each one of the corruptions?
That would be cool, yeah. In Dragonflight, there was an enchanting, I think it was called Vellum, that could give you an enchant just on your shoulders. So yeah, that would be a cool thing.
Sure, but that wasn't, I don't remember that being very dominant in the line of sight of your player. Like it just was a very subtle one.
There were ones that were like you used it and it went on for an hour. That was like a huge flame or like a huge lightning ball and stuff. But people didn't use them because it only lasted an hour. It was purely cosmetic, right? But they could do something like that where it's just like, oh, you have like fire coming off you can have these little stupid balls hanging off your shoulder if you want.
Well, you can't steal Xalatath balls,
I remember we talked about these would be better as embellishments. So I think if they just kind of compromised on that, because you already probably have your embellishments made, so you just a glove slot would be a good idea, a shoulder slot would be a good idea. I think those are both good ideas.
Yeah, or head, whatever. But I still stand by. I think the embellishment would be good too because it would let you choose, based on a select few items. Don't take away the other two, but just add a third embellishment slot. And
that's a good idea. Yeah, like a corrupted embellishment. It's like its own thing. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so you can see right here, we're reviewing everyone's feedback and considering the different item slot. MDL's recommendation of embellishments and potentially doing both. We'll
where's my survey?
Thanks for the shout out.
I bet I got a survey somewhere.
You know what these last two stories have made me think is that the Blizzard community are a bunch of fucking complainers, man. Just chill.
Scrap.
What?
This podcast is full of a bunch of complainers.
You're the biggest complainer, bro.
I feel bad that every time they release something, they have to walk it back the next week.
Well, they're not necessarily walking it back. They're just saying, hey, we hear you will consider this,
What's sweet about the feedback is that they put the stuff out, we test it, and we go, it might be a little better like this. And
let's appreciate it.
Let's change it.
Let's appreciate the devs that they do listen. But you guys chill. The Warbreaker is not that bad. Relax.
Hold on. They are listening now, but again, while I want to give them credit for what they're doing right now, they have to continue to earn that grace because
I'm with you,
going
man.
into BFA, going into Shadowlands, right? They were notorious for not listening.
Yeah.
And at the very least, if you don't listen, I understand that you're the dev and you have to make the final decision based on what you think will break or whatever. But communicate. Like, for example, Arcane Mages are really upset about not being able to double dip anymore. I understand both sides of the argument. It's a really fun gameplay loop. However, Blizzard says, well, we don't like it because it's not really good for new players to learn how to double dip. It's not like an intuitive game mechanic. But the counterpoint was then posted to them saying, well, yeah, that's fair enough. However, all your other gameplay around Arcane is not intuitive. So why are you taking out the one that was the easiest thing to teach players instead of having to make a weak aura that would literally flash up saying, now you should barrage, right?
Yeah.
And so just continue to communicate when you decide, no, hey, we hear you. I see your feedback, just acknowledge that always helps. But no, I can't tell you why. That's, in my opinion, that's fine enough. Like you're just saying like, hey, there's some internal things we can't discuss. Or I can tell you why, and here's why, and this made. Because at the very least, like, we can put things to bed, right?
Yeah.
Do you think there's a coincidence?
The annoying... Yeah, go on.
Oh, no, you probably have something to say. Go ahead.
It was probably dumb.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I was just gonna say. I don't think it's any coincidence that as soon as Blizzard started taking feedback seriously, Survival Hunter has been in the basement, and I think we can all agree that that's the best.
They don't listen to us.
Scrap. What happened today when you were discovered to be a Survival Hunter in a group?
Oh, somebody said I was trolling.
Yeah, like the audacity.
Well, the fact that people don't even know that hunters can be melee in like a 9 and 10 is like, okay, you're trolling.
They know.
How do you not know that?
They just don't expect it because you're trolling.
See, I think that's trolling. So.
BM Hunter is supposed to be really good, man.
Well, I don't remember if I told this on the podcast, but when the patch stuff got announced, like all the 4 sets and all the logs and all the everything, and survival was like when all the survival changes went through and people were actually trying them out, like the Discord was burning down and everybody was complaining. And at one point somebody said, look, like if you insist on playing survival, it's gonna suck a lot of the time and you just put up with it. And so I got it in my head like oh, I do insist on playing it.
It's the bit. It's the bit.
Yep. That there's kind of like a trauma bond that a lot of survival mains have, that it's just like, yeah, like you just have to accept that some seasons it won't be good and know they're not going to do anything about it.
God, we're gonna have a whole segment on Survival Hunter.
We could probably move on.
Let's.
All right, yeah, fine.
What were you gonna say, Frank? Let's talk.
No, I was just gonna say, like, you say you're not like it's not good, but it's perfectly
no,
fine.
Sorry, it's not. It's performing decently. The gameplay loop is in the toilet. Like,
okay, so you don't like the
gameplay. Nonsensical.
Scrap gets mad because she has to hold cooldowns, and if she doesn't hold cooldowns,
that's not my
messes everything
issue.
up.
My issue is that like it was a diverse like procky rotation, and now it's like you have the exact same identical rotation for a single target situation and a multi-target situation, and you get procs and you specifically don't engage with them because they don't do enough damage to outweigh just like your regular thing. So it's a completely scripted gameplay loop where you don't react to procs, you don't react to anything, you don't even react to how many mobs there are. You just do the same buttons in the same order. And there's and I try asking like, oh, if I do this, will I get a little bit more? And it's just like, no, it's negligible. Like, just do this.
But isn't the whole idea of this development loop is that they have to ship it at some point, right? And so maybe they ship it knowing like, hey, we're not done or we're not happy about it. Are you of at least patience oriented enough to say, well, okay, assuming they communicated things. Again, this goes back to my point of communication. Let's say that they put out a blue post saying, hey, Survival Hunters, we hear your feedback. They don't maybe admit to anything, but they say we are, going to cook on this, and in 11.1.5, you expect to see some changes.
The problem is that there's so few people who play Survival Hunter compared to everything else.
Just keep throwing your bombs, man.
Is that what are you suggesting, that they just make changes to the classes that are played the most?
Well, historically, that's what they do. I mean, we were using our 4 set from Dragonflight Season 3 the entirety of Season 4. And
people
they didn't change it at all.
What does that have to do with player popularity, though?
Well, I'm just saying that was a complaint at the very beginning of the season. They never fixed it.
Yeah, just because you have a bad dev on you.
Okay, sure. I don't know why but just that the attitude, I'm telling you in the Discord, the attitude is like, yep, this happens to us. And
oh my god, dude! Class Discords are terrible.
I was gonna say, Lithian, you might be the best expert on this point, and I'm gonna ask
you. That's true. I don't frequent a lot of different
every class
ones,
Discord that way.
Yeah, all the
But do other classes tell you to like shut up? That's like what you picked.
Yeah, they're
well,
not helpful, man.
I will just say from my experience, because I only really dive deep into the Mage one, but like every single time there's some sort of nerf, and I told this I think on the podcast before, they will literally cry saying, "Oh my god, this is the worst it's ever been ever," right? And it's like
the sky is falling all the time.
No, it's not. And,
I mean, I'll send you.
And then of course it's like the 5 stages of denial. That at some point they just have to start coping, you know.
Well, I'll send you like some of the screenshots I got, but there will be like one guy who's like upset, and then like 10 people who are like, "You need to cope. We as survival hunters cope." You know, like it's a very I've been in a couple different class discords. Like I came from the Fury one. I was maining Fury a lot, and the Fury one is a chill ride. Everybody's cool. Everybody wants to help. They are. They're totally like chill vibes. The survival one has a very unique energy to it.
You know what I haven't heard from with recently, because just as an example, Roar in our Discord, who is normally a Windwalker monk, he played Mistweaver for I think his Mythic raid, and we just constantly heard about how dog shit Windwalkers. It seems like, based on what I'm seeing in the Race to World First, and I've seen in some keys myself, that a Windwalker, at least when it comes to single target, is insane, right?
I'm guessing he stopped complaining and he started whispering me what's my IO score. So I'm guessing he must be doing pretty good.
He wants to boost his IO, and
he's all about boosting his IO.
And he's playing Mistweaver. So,
but isn't this just like, again, the perfect example of where we have just, it's not even the noisiest group, because like I don't even think druids are the noisiest, but for some reason balanced druids are always, you know, dooming and glooming, and sometimes they're right. Yeah, sometimes they're right, but not always, and usually not.
I tell Tuttles to stop sandbagging.
Well, we came into War Within beta, you know, balance being like F- tier, and it did really well. Come into this season, and balance was rated pretty high on most people's lists. And you know, this is based off raid. I haven't looked at the Mythic Plus data, but based on raid, like they're one of the worst, if not the worst, DPSers in the raid. And yet I don't hear anything about balanced druids right now. Like, what is going on?
They're big. They're big in Mythic Plus. They're doing well in Mythic Plus.
Yeah, they are.
I have a problem, and again, I just latch onto people who just are the most noisiest about it. Tettles is an example, but there are people in our own Discord who are an example, where they will gaslight the shit out of performance. It's the same thing that happened with that, you know, that warrior that was complaining about never getting in to keys, and then like I pull it, and you know, Arms and Fury were, or no, I think it was Fury. Fury was like the 6th most taken DPS class keys. And okay, we'll take a quick aside here. I don't know who posted it. Maybe you guys can enlighten me, because I was at the casino when this happened. But someone posted in our Discord a Reddit post of, I guess there's an add-on you can use to track your like success rate at getting into keys, or how long it takes you to get into keys.
Oh yeah, that was sad. Yeah. Where he had like applied to like 300 keys and didn't get into a single one.
Well, and then he had like a Q&A in his Reddit post that was like, what's your IO? You know, why didn't you pump your own key up? And, you know, all sorts of essentially excuses as to why he wasn't getting the keys. And
it was just Link.
Yeah. Did we find out why he wasn't getting into keys? Was there a secret reason?
No. He posted a post from Reddit.
Okay.
So, he didn't post the original.
Hold on 1 second.
I don't know what the add-on is they use.
All right, so here's the post. Okay, thank you, Lithium, for getting it for me. So I don't know what this add-on is, but applied to 228, got declined by 104, delisted by 57. I guess he canceled 64. He or she. I'm sorry, I shouldn't sexist like
they
that.
canceled. Oh, they canceled. Okay, I
right.
See.
And then they had 3 successful invites, and then accepted the 3. Right. So this was a 2.5-hour session. Let's see if I can zoom in on this at home.
Dude, Godspeed. You could do that for 2 hours. I do it for 30 minutes, and I'm like, I'm gonna go play Zoo Tycoon.
No, but even then, I don't think I ever make it to 30 minutes unless it's like a really dead spot in the game. This was this week. Like,
I feel like this has got to be user error. I don't know how. Like, is his name a slur?
Well,
I don't know.
What was he? It's
Destro Warlock. That makes sense.
Yeah, he's playing a Destro Warlock. And we had a Destro Warlock in our Cinderbrew key, and they were pumping, man.
Yeah, I never in a 6. I never been that picky what was it, 7 or a 6?
It was an 8.
I want
What
to
are
see
you
if they
doing,
have
Frank?
the season 1 or the week 1 key complete count. They usually do that, but no. Oh, what the hell?
Damn, dude.
All right, sorry. I just wanted to see how many keys were completed. You know that little graph.
Yeah.
Raider IMO might have it later. We'll talk about that. Okay, sorry for the side story there. But look. So why didn't you list your own key? My key is a 2. None sign up. Sat in LFG for 20 minutes with 2 applicants. I'm surprised to hear this because
you think this guy's just a liar? Like what?
I don't want to take that like that cynical approach to this.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. But yeah, like when I read this, I was like, the fuck you talking about, dude?
Yeah. What was the score last season? That might be a factor.
I think the most annoying question is why don't you join a guild? Because like they have set friend groups and don't invite anyone outside the clique to join.
Does this upset you, Shawnee, just because we are the clique group in our guild?
It upsets me because when people say there's a clique, it's like they're upset that they've joined something where people already know each other and people like doing stuff together. But when you ask usually the other people to do something, they're like, oh, I'm busy or they don't have time or
well,
like,
go on, Shawnee, sorry.
We actually like actively try to have nights where we're like, all right, we're gonna like split up and do stuff within the guild or take people's stuff. Like,
well, go on.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I was gonna say like last week I took Haywire and I took like Fear and Exy to do like to get their delves up so they could get into 8s and stuff. I think saying there's a clique is
we have our group.
Yeah.
But let me say that we were not born all at the same time playing WoW. Like we weren't spawned as a clique. Like the reason that we found each other is that like I want to do keys. I'm inviting every pug into Discord I play with, and eventually I meet a couple people. I mean that's how I met every single one of you pretty much. Except Io, he came for the podcast. And Lithian was in the guild, I think. But Frank, I pugged in. Shawnee, I pugged in. Like, you just invite everybody to Discord, talk to them, you do well with them, pull them in again, and eventually you will have a crew. Unfortunately, the really sad thing about this game is that it is a social game, and you do have to be social and just succeed at it.
Well, and you don't even have to be social. Like, okay, let's say you don't want to be Discord social, right? But you can still type in Discord or still type in game while listening to the other people. And not have to necessarily speak up if you don't want to. I can understand that, right?
Yeah.
But like,
it's just always annoyed me.
Part of
the whole like click thing.
You remember when that community manager clapped back at that person that was like complaining about being banned for leaving keys immediately?
Yeah,
God, that's one of my favorite memories of last year.
What I want to feel like is this person who effectively is saying like, why aren't you in a guild and why aren't you in the clique or anything like that? I just want to be like, well, hold on. Take a second and just ask yourself, like, when you're in the group, are you someone that they're going to enjoy going for the ride with, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's a lot of the reason why we all came together as a clique in any guild for that matter, right? Whether it be our current guild or previous ones. It was we jumped in Discord. And again, I don't even think all of us talked immediately. I think when I joined your group scrap, you guys were just like running your mouths the whole time.
I don't leave a lot of room to get a word in.
Yeah.
And then I think I just spoke up and I said like, hey, I think Sarah was saying, I was like, hey Sarah, like, do you need any help with this? And then you guys were like, yeah, let's talk about it. And you just like, again, went crazy.
Yeah, we love yapping.
And of course you don't have to do that via voice. You can just do that in-game chat while you're listening to them, like LOL and laughing along things with them, whatever. So yeah, I look at this and I just go like, I don't think he's lying. Right?
No.
He's got this stupid add-on, whatever this.
He might be exaggerating.
Yeah, I do think there's an exaggeration there, right? Like, how many times are like, okay, can we confirm that all 228 of these were for 7s, right? No, he probably just started like, and 30 minutes and he's like, okay, now I'm gonna start applying for 12s and just get denied to everything. I don't know, is Destro good right now? Is it bad? Like, is that part of the meta reason why he's not getting invited?
I don't know, but survival is terrible, and like I do have a decent enough score because I did get some 9s and 10s done, but like I mean I still have 6s in some things, and I'm applying to 9s, and 9s are ghost towns. There's like 100 9s listed, and all of them have 1 DPS in it. Like you can't be picky. Don't just pug to the ones if you can't get in the ones with tanks and healers. Those are the ones that everybody's trying to get into.
Yeah.
Find one with the DPS who's got like 200 score. They are begging for anybody to join.
You are 100% right, because today I was on my monk, and my monk has a low IO just because I did 3s and just to fill my vault. And I was like, okay, I think I can handle some 7s. And I wasn't getting into any 7s because I was always looking for the one with a tank. And I'm a healer, so it's easier for me to get in anyways. But they weren't accepting me. I was like, that's surprising. I'm a healer. I'm perfectly whatever. I just say, you know what? There's this one with a random mage. I get in. The second I get in, because they take me immediately because they need a healer.
Yeah.
They then immediately start getting tank applicants, and everything just immediately filled up right behind it, right?
Yeah.
Now, granted, again, the I am a healer makes it easier for me in that scenario,
easier.
of course.
But I was surprised because I really have that easy time getting to keys, and I did pretty easy.
I only look for keys that have a healer. I think most tanks do that.
You're a tank, tank privilege.
Yeah, they only look for keys that already have a healer because they just want to go.
We got to get everything we get. Too. But I do want to
tanks.
I do want to get back to, I don't think he's completely exaggerating, because like when we list a key, like that's an 8 or a 9 or even a 7, like last week we were getting applicants who were like 2600 IO, 255 item level last week, like week 1. And it's like, why would I pick this guy when that guy's going to carry me through the key? Because he's hunting some trinket, race to world first.
Yes, but how many times do we get dog shit
donkeyed by that? Well, it depends, but I think like this week and next week, or this week and last week, maybe even next week, people are trying to farm trinkets and rings and shit like that, and so you're gonna see artificially high people doing these lower keys as long as they drop hero gear. So it might be harder to get into stuff. I mean, so you can take advantage of that right now, but I think that's going to chill out, because those guys are going to be getting into 12s, 13s, 14s in 2 weeks, and they're going to get out of your space.
Well, here's the thing too. This is where I think Fodom works against you if you're a Fodom chaser.
Yeah, Fodom works.
If you're the rep paladin from last season, or you're whatever it is now, right? If you're that class and you're not the highest IO and or highest whatever, you're just the highest something to stand out, there's no way you're going to get picked.
Well, if you have a cool name, then
maybe with Scrap.
I'd say, last season, I found pugging hard, but it was like, look for a key. I played Ret, and when I was looking for keys, it was like, everyone already had a Ret. Like,
it's the first thing I would get applied to me every time.
So
I just log in to help people, and Scrap drags me into a random key for whatever reason.
Because normally we're looking for a tank for an hour.
You're a tank. You have an entirely different gaming experience.
Tanks and healers, shut the fuck up on this. This is not about you. This is about when you're a survival.
Hold on, I ask you, have you done any pugging, or are you just running with people you know?
I've been mostly pugging. I did.
And you're a holy paladin.
Yeah, so honestly, like the lower keys was pretty easy to get into. Getting into 10s right now has been pretty tough, because I think people mostly want Mistweavers or Disc Priests, and they don't trust a Holy Paladin.
God, I hate Disc Priests.
So I've been having some trouble at that level. So I actually last weekend got to a point where I actually had to start pushing my own key up to a 10 just to get one for Vault, because I thought I had enough score to apply to them. And I unfortunately wasn't really getting into them. So a friend of mine from another group hopped on, and we pushed that key up to a 10, and then we got 5 people together to complete it. But
like this guy's got a 2, and he's in a guild, and none of his guildmates would run the 2 quickly with him.
Maybe he's in the wrong guild.
He's not in a guild. He says he can't join a guild because they already have friend groups. So
he's joined guild groups.
Oh, okay.
He's in a guild. He just can't join their groups.
I will say, if you can't get into 10s at all, I got 2 10s done this week from joining a 9 group, and then when they saw that I was good and that I knew what I was doing, they were like, "Stay for the 10." So if you're good, you'll get invited.
We always talk. This is not the first time we talked about this topic. I just wanted to bring up this post because again, we
always talk about this topic.
Whatever this add-on just sounds like fucking.
I feel for that guy. I'm really sad for him, but I do feel like there has to be some level of user error here.
You know what? I also want to, like, if someone could find that particular guy, I'd run a key with him just to see how good he is.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, oh.
Okay. If anyone knows Jack1940 on the WoW subreddit, if anyone knows him, if you happen to be a viewer, come to our Discord. I promise you, we will do 8 runs with you.
We will bump your 2 up to a 10, and then you can't complain anymore.
No, and we'll give you that 10 for your vault so that you can be a little free bird into the world out there with your 10 next season or next week to run whatever comp you want, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of trying to do that with the community this week, and a little bit last week is like,
Hold on, Scrap. Hold on.
What? Well,
your announcement to do community keys after raid, and then you are the only one
I
not
got
doing
left out of the
keys.
group. I mean, I have been trying to like do a couple here and there, not a lot because I haven't played like too much, but like this week I definitely towards the end of the week want to make sure anybody gets a 10 within reason, can get a 10, then they can pump their own keys, then we can do our E-team stuff because they'll have keys to go with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't need us then.
Look, if we can get 6s and 7s done with Flux, and again, that's not a knock against Flux because he's like
he's still new Leo for
and he's like he's come back to the game and he's learning new spec, all that stuff. But like he would be the first to admit, like, hey, yeah, I'm getting carried, but like we're getting it done, no problem.
Yeah.
And it's an environment where we're like, hey, come to the community, be a decent human being.
Yeah.
And I don't care how bad your DPS is. If you are fun to play with, you're coming along for the ride. We don't care.
Yeah,
right?
we Flux is like we hang out with him because he's fun.
Yeah,
you know, like, and that's
well,
how he gets
good.
How much does the 10 carry these days? How much that run, like gold wise?
Dude, like I think for a successfully timed one, I want to say each person gets paid 220,000. So it's like $1 million gold.
Successfully timed.
Okay, let's just say 500,000 gold. Let's just say that.
Okay, 500K. That's how much your personality will get in our guild. Like, yeah, we'll just give it for free.
I mean, I like
next week.
I like practicing keys, and I run all the time, so I'm always down to help. So
yeah.
And with the new key change, we can do 12s and not worry about dropping them down.
I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're on the third news bullet point.
Yep, let's keep going. So MDI registration is open. That means the tournament realm will be opening. Now, I brought this up on the podcast last time. Had we tried to even in a little bit compete, we actually would have ranked fairly high. So I'm going to require of E-Team that we all register, and we are going to make a serious effort to push MDI this season.
Yeah, let's do it because we never tried before. It could be fun.
We did it for the banner, but like
but we just did like the 2 keys and had a silly fun time. But like I think we can try, especially since we're gonna be practicing on like 12s and stuff, like just running drills. Because we'll have the undepleted 12 key thing.
So Lithian, I think they only run like 9s or 10s in MDI. I mean, so you're gonna have to wait till they announce what the 2 keys are, the 2 dungeons are that we need to learn. But I need perfection in those routes because we're gonna have to pull this in like under 10 minutes kind of pulls.
Wouldn't it be amazing if we ranked like in the top like 50 or something with the most ragtag group ever?
No, I'm begging that maybe just this happens at a bad time where no big players, because from what I hear, people don't like doing this as much anymore, especially the invitational over the Great Push. They like the Great Push.
I mean, we saw that from the people who ranked last time. They were like not that.
Wouldn't it be fucking great if we were like the 20, because it's 24 teams, like we were the 24th team to qualify. And
we showed up to Blizzcon with 24s on our
stream. We did it, guys. 24.
Yeah, 24.
We get like invited because they sometimes show the players on the Blizzard stream, and it's just us, and we just don't take it like we have like makeup and shit on just to look as silly as we possibly. I would love that. So
you just gotta motivate Haywire's mana pool, and I think it'll be fine.
I hope one of the dungeons isn't Motherload because I've seen how Lithian pulls that one, and I don't know if I.
No.
You've seen how I pull it.
You've seen how Scrap pulls it.
Well, the thing is that I know Lithian will go and watch the streamers that stream their time trials, and he'll just
watch it
and look at what they're doing, and he'll just say, "All right, we're doing the same thing," and we will just slam ourselves over and over and over to get in and get it done. And again, maybe only 20 teams take it seriously this year. We just happen to be one of the ones that said, well, we're going to try. And we officially will evolve into an entirely new set of players.
We really don't have any excuse because we get the best gear and the best things. The only things that we're left with is us. So that's
that said,
I mean, we are the main Affix.
Yeah.
So.
We are.
That said, though, I would encourage anyone that listens to this podcast that would like to be a part of any of our MDL games. We haven't done one in a while, but that's just because I think we're spending a lot of time on the podcast.
We're strong then.
But we would love to do one. I have actually an idea for a raid. If anyone's ever seen The Traders, the show, Scrap, I recommend it to you. I don't think you ever watched it though.
I never watched stuff. I'm sorry.
We're going to do a Traders raid, and just to give you some quick context on what that means is
it's a werewolf, right?
It's werewolf in a nutshell, right? There'll be 2 traders in the raid, and there'll be 500,000 gold up for whoever wins, right? And the idea is, if the traders can survive till the very end of the raid and not be caught, whatever traders left will get that gold, split or not. But if the what are they called? Faithful, the faithful survive to the end and eliminate all traders, they get the gold or split the gold with whoever's left, right? And so we're gonna have mini games in like in the middle of the raid, and of course we're gonna task the traders to try to kill off some of the raid players so that by the time we get to the final boss, like half the raid is missing. So stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to that. Like, I want to do more of these games. I love doing them. They don't get as much viewers, but that's okay. Like, again, we do this for the fun, not for the...
But it builds the community. I mean, there's people who, like, Pleb still talks about the game we did in Shadowlands, you know? Like, it's fun. It builds fun memories, and...
we did a blindfold tank.
The blindfold tank was great. Connect 4 and Battleship, I would love those back.
Yes,
the potato game was, I don't want to say it was half cooked because it's a pun, but it was almost there. That one could be really fun.
It was really hard to produce that one.
It was hard for us.
The game was there. It's just like I'd have someone in the background pulling on the levers while I'm not talking on stream.
So yeah, we need somebody who's the potato like herald, who goes in and tells people they have the potato, because us having to do that, people don't know what we're talking about.
Now that I have more hosts, maybe I can be the producer and you guys host it, right?
Well, the problem is not the hosts, it's the players. We struggle to get.
Oh yeah, they were idiots. Okay.
Every time we talk about doing the games, I'm like, why don't we do more of this? And then we do it, and then organizing it is a fucking nightmare.
Well, either way, if you're at home thinking, I'm not a part of a guild, I'm not part of a community, but you hear the idea of this traders raid, or you hear this idea of playing Hot Potato or Connect 4 in the middle of a Mythic Plus dungeon environment, come to here. I'm gonna even do this. Let's show the website, right? Boom, mythicdungeonleague.com. Find our Discord there. You can see all the other videos, blah, 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 blah.
Frank, maybe put a link. Can you put a link in YouTube, like, on the screen?
Oh, yeah, I guess I could.
Put a link to the blind take challenge.
Okay.
Put a link to that one.
But, and by the way, you can follow us on Twitch, MDL Frank, which you will see Lithium there soon. But, yeah, like, if you get on this tournament realm, you can control everything within the key. To the point, I think you can even choose the affixes if you want to, like, test things. But anyways, I'm looking forward for us to make at least a stab at the time trials. April 16th through the 21st. No one has anything planned?
What? I don't know.
Take a look at your calendars. We'll get back to that later. Okay, let's keep moving. Mythic Gallywix was exploited again.
I stand with the exploiters. I love it.
Congrats, Racer.
So this was their guild name. It's essentially the reverse.
I'm busy that weekend.
Oh,
it's amazing,
Johnny.
And it's WrestleMania weekend.
Oof. All right, you're back in. You're the everybody knows he's the backup E-team.
Now we talked about this last week, the Gallywix exploit. We don't know why they're doing it other than for fame. They've done it again. Do you think at this point they're just trying to piss off Blizzard? Do you think that at this point?
Yes.
Well, Blizzard, fix your damn game so they can't do it anymore. That's on them. That's what I think.
I hate when people say that. Just fix it.
I don't care.
Like, you can't know that there's a problem until someone else finds it.
Well, they found it, so now they can fix it. But next week they're gonna do it again, I bet.
If Blizzard can roll it back and they can't even get the achievement or the mount from it, I don't know why they're even bothering. But they can keep doing it, so more power to them, I guess.
Keep doing it. I think it's funny.
They do it because Wowhead posts an article about it, and people, people look at it, and it gets attention.
Yeah, but
which
I get
is
that
fine,
part of it if you were actually gaining something from the attention. But these are all people who are like,
they have massive VPNs. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I mean, we do stuff that we don't even get attention for. So like to like 200% mother load.
Yeah.
So
we had a great time.
Yeah.
I assassinated Scrap and it was good.
Oh, play that clip, Frank. Put it here.
I don't. What? Which one was that?
Insert the clip. It's where Lithian literally death gripped a bomb into me, and I dodged it, and then I turned around, and he used his second death grip to death grip the bomb into me again.
You said we were gonna be friends at the end of this.
Yeah, we said we were gonna be friends at the end of the tank.
Oh, don't eat that mine though.
Don't tell him what to do.
I don't want to eat it, but if you got, oh my god, you guys are zero.
What the
He killed me.
All right, I'll ask for it later.
She screamed.
So I can put it back in for
It's on YouTube. I shrieked. I was really terrified.
Okay. Other than that, we are still in the middle of the Race to World First, which is exciting for those who watch it. As of right now, both of the teams are racing to kill one-armed bandit. The raid has been extremely hard. 100 plus pulls for the last 3 bosses, if I remember correctly. Maybe 2 bosses. Does that concern you guys at all for Heroic? We've done the first 2 bosses in Heroic. We really haven't given a stab to anything else. Ioski, last week, I think this was after recording, you commented that how many pulls did it take for you guys to kill the Junk Master?
The guild I was playing with, we took us, I think, like 19 to kick 6 Junk Bunker. That's the trash boss.
What do you predict for our guild?
It's fair.
It's tough. Our second Cauldron of Chaos went a lot better from our raid last night, and I've noticed not being on Lithian side, it tends to go a little smoother.
It does. It does.
Don't Lithian, don't listen to him.
Shawnee, you can stay on his side if you want to. Go on.
I want to.
Frank knows it's better on Cal's side.
All jokes aside, I don't know. It's tough to say because the main issue is people were just not doing the trash properly, and I don't. Well, I think if the right people get it, it won't be an issue. But there's also you have to get the little bomb guys off those piles, and then
here's the problem. When Frank says who's going to get the second bomb, and nobody says anything.
Yeah, there's
right?
4 people
and
other
then
than the tank who could say
I'm going to get my bomb, and somebody else has already gotten my bomb, and somebody else has already gotten the other bomb, and nobody's making call outs whatsoever. That's the issue. If we can get that fixed, then I think it'll be fine.
It'll be fixed because Frank hasn't used his dad voice yet. So
yeah,
I know.
Say, I've already anticipated this problem, and I'm trying to find ways to
he's gonna daddy up and yell at us.
I'm gonna say 15 polls.
But under your other. By the way, you said the guild you ran with. Are you not running with them anymore?
So not officially, but yeah, pretty much not. Yeah,
this will be on Monday, so you can have time to do your letter registration.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work with them. Because
they don't like you.
I just don't think I don't think they need another healer, and I'm not really and I wouldn't mind DPSing for him, but the problem was the way that we kind of communicated. I thought I would at least be able to have a chance to at least kind of try to be a healer, and I've been gearing for that specifically. So for them to kind of pull that rug out at sort of the last minute, it is kind of annoying. And then I also happen to find another guild on Raider.io that is specifically looking for a Holy Paladin, so I'm going to try it with them and see how that goes.
Damn, so you're hunting places to run away from us.
He's serious. This season, this season he wants to do his Mythic thing, so I think give it a try. See if it's for you,
Good luck, buddy.
All right, let's move on to M+. And Scrap, I'm going to give you the floor on this one because we have the new Affix out. You finally got to see it in action.
Well,
what do you think of this new fix?
Frequent viewers know that I'm very hard on affixes, but I do like them. I just complain about them. And I was standing by that, like, almost every non-seasonal affix from previous seasons, like in Dragonflight and Shadowlands, was not fun. This is a fun affix. They did it. I'm having so much fun.
Oh my god.
I like how much control I have over it. Like I can run my ball to somebody else, and it's like if I see people struggling, I'll be like, hey, I'll grab that for you real quick. I keep thinking the image that keeps coming in my head, and I keep repeating, it's like monkeys picking the ticks off each other's backs. Like I'll get
such a weird thing to say.
That's what's in my head. I'm sorry. I'll get your bug and you get mine. Like
I don't
it's
even
easy
move.
to do. Yeah, Frank just ignores it, and I go back and get his But me and Shawnee, we're having fun time. Like I get yours, you get mine. It breeds togetherness. I think.
Yeah, togetherness.
It's enjoyable, and I think
it's why I don't care about it is because now I don't obviously want the mobs to get it, so I usually will sort it out. Like when if I'm in the middle of my big pull, but like I think it awards us mastery, and mastery is my worst stat, so I'm just like not engaged
my best
with.
stat, you dickhead. That's good for me.
That sounds like an issue, not an issue me.
Yeah, right. Mastery is good for a lot of classes, man.
Scrap, remember when we don't time a key, it's because he doesn't care about our mastery.
Well, it's because he slow falled me 5 times when I'm falling down in Rookery. Like, and then I disengage into mobs because I'm trying to get on the ground.
If we stream together and you see my face when you do that,
I can't wait.
It'll be so disturbing.
Push that TV, MDL Frank.
Yeah.
I'm so mad.
But you do like it? What about the others?
I adore it. I think it's great.
Yeah, I like this one. It's non-intrusive. I don't have to use a CC cooldown on it. It impacts it enough to where, you know, if it happens in a bad part of a fight, it might be a little inconvenient, but it's not like the other ones where you have to give up a ton to get it done. So I like it. It's pretty good.
It has been weird on a couple things where we like have to all stack or have to be in certain places. Like,
yeah,
I did pug into a Rookery and I was the only person on my side. For some reason, they didn't want to help me at all. And I kept having to run all the way to the healer. Okay, I gotta go back. You know, like I gotta run over here. Okay, I gotta run back. I mean, I didn't stop running the entire time just to keep like, okay, I gotta find somebody to help me clear the affix. Like, so it seemed I haven't done every dungeon this week to see if there's like huge problem areas. I'm sure there are some oversights, but we'll see.
It's all right.
It gives you enough time to clear it, like before mechanics. So.
Well, I don't even have to move. So
yeah, you're in melee, so I'll get yours most of the time. Like
but I mean,
somebody grabs it right away.
As an example, in our Rookery today, right? Musham Haywire, as you may know him on the podcast, he died because he was so worried about Lithian having his orb that he ran into the beam of the boss. You know, because he wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. At first, the first couple keys I did with this, I was really like the second it popped, I wanted to clear everybody's, like just to be helpful. But it gives you a really long time. So it's more like when I see an opportunity, I'll just snag somebody's. Like, you know, if I don't have to go too far out of my way, you know, it's like, oh, I have to get out of the circle. I'll just hit the mages while I'm out there. You know, it feels good. I haven't heard of anybody complaining about it. Compared to all the other 3 affixes for Xalatath, I mean, those they suck. They're not fun.
Which one's the worst offender now that they got rid of that balls flying in?
Honestly, the knock-up one, it's easy to deal with, but it does get rid of like your knock-up, and there's a lot of people, like for example, like hunters. I don't know who else has issues with it. Like the shaman and the ret one clear all of them, but then the hunters have like a really small scope.
Though, because you don't know exactly if you're hitting. That's my problem with it, is that you don't know if you're going to hit them. It'd be nice if there was, and I know this is not in the game right now, but like let's say you're using the circle from Cap Totem as just an example.
See where that's gonna go.
That you like, if you were to mouse over with the circle, they would highlight the ones you're gonna hit. Kind of like if you ever played Divinity Original Sin, if you have an AoE effect, it'll have the circle, and if you move that circle over a mob, it'll light up your character, but it'll also light up, let's say, your teammate that might be friendly fired by it, kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a ton of mechanics in this game that have like hidden areas of effect, right?
Yeah.
Like I actually didn't even know the hunter implosion trap was that small of a scope until I started dealing with this affix. I'm like, oh my god, I can only get like 3 of them with this, because I'm normally putting on a giant melee pack and just watching them all fly up in the air. I'm not trying to get like a huge area of effect. And there's things like, not to keep always say survival, but like everything is positional with my class, where it's like all cones, but I don't actually know how big the cone is. I'm just kind of like eyeballing it. Like there's nothing to show me where the cone is, or like where the circle is if you're like blade storming or something. So I wish there was like an option that you could select for your own abilities that just shows you like exactly where they hit, so I get a feel for it. And then I would turn it off once I knew exactly the stuff.
Well,
but that's all
why would you turn it off, right? Like, is it,
if it was intrusive, I guess I would turn it off. But I know that's the thing that's in Final Fantasy, where it's like all of your abilities have like huge tells that say, okay, this is going to go in a square like this.
I mean, dev evokers have that huge tone.
Yeah, some classes do, some classes don't. Like I have my arcane supernova, and I have to find the one orb that's in the middle to try to get them all.
Yeah.
And even then, when I do that, whether it be because nameplates are like making me think I've got something and I don't, or I can't, like, I'm not looking on top of it in a 3D space really well.
Yeah.
I usually didn't get, but like maybe 6 or 7 of them.
And well, you know how, oh yeah, go on.
No, go on.
I was gonna say, you know how like the evoker, when they fly forward, they have like a bar that shows them how far they're gonna go. Why wouldn't you love that for your arcane orb to know if you're gonna pull something, or for like the Death Knight dragon to know if it's gonna hit the next mob?
The problem with the arcane orb, and I don't want to go too deep because like no one cares, but the problem with the arcane orb is that it's not something that I aim; it just flies out of my penis.
Gotcha.
And
Great.
and so I choose to like send them sometimes, but the ones that are always a problem is the one where I'm like trying to avoid a mechanic, so I'm running to the left or right. But I can arcane missile while I'm running, and arcane missile has a chance to proc an arcane orb, and then it just goes, because I'm okay. Good example, the last boss in Priory, right? You have to turn around. Now, granted, there's no trash back there because you have to clear it anyways. But if there were, and I turned around, I would just send an orb out into the trash mob area, and fuck everything up immediately. So that's like, in that case, it wouldn't do a great job. But Cap Totem is perfect at this, even though you don't know if you're hitting everything, because again, the orbs aren't really perfectly legible. But on the inverse of that, Sean, you use Blinding Light. You have no idea what you're actually going to hit with your Blinding Light. I have no idea what I'm going to hit with my Supernova.
I try to stay, I just go to what I think is the center and pop it and hope I get everything. So.
Yeah, but then I have to use an interrupt to get the last one, the odd man out. And then I don't have the interrupt for that main mechanic we needed it for,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'll try to trank shot ones. I know that's triggering a Lithian, but
you trank shot everything.
Yeah.
That's
all
not
right.
aggroed.
Well, let's keep moving on.
We keep moving on. We like it. Tell us if you don't like it, and I'll ban you from our channel.
Brann got nerfed really hard for healers. And
Brann, you mean Brann?
Brann.
No, Brawny. The
no,
guy on
Brann is on the skateboard. Brann is
that's LeBron. All right.
No, it's not. Stop gaslighting me. This is Brann.
Brann was nerfed in Delves mostly because apparently it was too strong for healers to just sit back and heal Brann as he was tanking.
Even as a DPS with him as a tank, he's definitely nerfed. You can notice a big difference.
Oh yeah, but I was gonna ask, so just to give some context, Scrap, you used him as a tank and you said he was useless after a little while.
Well, I thought I was all in on tanking Brann when I was pumping up my delves until I got to 10, and then he would just die instantly, and I was like, "You're completely useless." Because it's like if the tank is dying, I can't heal. I'm a hunter, so I have no control over him dying. He just runs in and dies sometimes. So I switched to healing Brann, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is way easier." For a DPS, I think healing Brann is the way I would go. But I know what they nerfed. Actually, I don't know what they nerfed, but I know what was OP was that when you healed tank Brann, he would put out a damage AoE, so as a healer you kind of cover everything, and it was too powerful.
I ask you, did you do any delves as a healer for Brann?
Not this season. I've mostly been doing it as protection, so I didn't really get a chance to mess with him before he got nerfed.
Well, let me ask you that. Why did you do that? Why did you choose protection over?
Because it's just quicker to do it, because I do more damage than if I was playing Holy. Last season I did most of my delves as Holy and Brann as DPS, and I would just keep us both up and just do damage, but I felt like it'd be quicker to just do protection because I'm probably not going to die, and I can just kill everything really fast.
Why not Ret, though?
You missed out.
Why not Ret?
Yeah.
Because some of the mechanics can be tough for Ret. I mean, Zekvir for specifically is better to do as Ret because you need the damage, but everything else wise, I think it's better to be protection.
Some stuff slaps once in a while on Ret, and you're just like, what happened? You're almost dead. You're like, this is weird.
Yeah, imagine what it's like as a mage.
Can't imagine. I heard you have a lot of defensives.
I would never.
Not to stop one shots.
He has ice block. It's fine.
Yeah.
So anyways, I just wanted to ask you guys though. So my understanding, and I think there was even someone on Twitter or something posted that there was the same developer that wrote this, that tank Brann was too effective for healers. In their post when they initially announced tank Brann was to say they wanted healers to have an effective way to complete. Right. So we all remember that. Do you think that this is maybe a stupid solve for arguably, and again, I don't know, I haven't done any of it. Maybe it was really flippin' easy to do it as a healer, and now it's just the same difficulty that it is for us. Unfortunately, our healer didn't do healing testing. IO.
Whoops.
Fired.
Whoops.
Damn it.
But do you think that this was a bad move?
Well,
I can't say because if they fixed it, then it's a good move.
I would.
If I
tried it.
Go ahead, Johnny.
I was gonna say I haven't tried it as a healer with a tank Brann. I just did it as DPS with tank Brann, and I've noticed like I might put him to like heal or DPS now because he's kind of useless.
If I roll into a delve, an 11 delve on my resto druid, and I throw a bunch of hots on Brann, and he does this massive damage all the way through the delve, then yeah, that's a problem. I cannot confirm that's what happens because I don't play my druid, but if that's the case, then yeah, maybe they needed to make a change, and it makes sense.
I didn't see anything wild come out of the WoW sphere of look how overpowered this is. I just and then even then, I don't feel like delves were that competitive enough to make people say like, oh, you have to play it as a healer because it's so easy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Nah.
But maybe it was. It's just they nerfed this on paper at least very heavily, and I was just surprised to hear that. And I was also just surprised because I feel like this is exactly what the whole point was, is to make it like I would enjoy that process of being a healer and feeling like tank Brann was getting very powerful because I was healing him very well. Like, I don't know, that just sounds like a good idea. So if you've done this now after the nerf has come out and you want to tell us how you feel, tell us in the comments. Maybe we just don't understand, and maybe it just feels equally as good now. Class.
I mean, I will say my Brann is only like level 30 or something, so maybe that's why mine was useless. But like tank Brann in an 11 was completely fucking useless to me. Like he would just walk in and die.
I'll say,
Johnny, I think you've leveled yours too, right?
It's not 60 yet, but Haywire and I have been picking away at them. I will say that a lot of people had their brands and didn't realize they'd lost all their curios and stuff. So like,
he
had no skills or anything, and people were like, my brand sucks. And then it was like, I was like, put your stuff on it. They're like, oh, he's 10 times better. I'm like, who would have guessed?
Well, and now it's made me question. So is a level 30 Brann versus a level, let's say 50 Brann, is it that much noticeable?
I mean, I don't know because I've never had a level 50 Brann.
No, I was asking. You have to sometimes let other people answer that are knowledgeable in the subject.
I feel like when they had level 30 Branns, they were doing last season's content, so they can't.
No, I'd say mine's lower than Haywire's, and I can tell the difference when I'm with Haywire compared to my own.
Okay.
I feel like his is stronger because it's a higher level.
Mine's 61.
It might not work that way.
I mostly just ignore him. He does his thing, and I do my thing.
Are you guys having trouble with him dying instantly, or
no?
So
I'm also a tank, so.
Oh, that's true.
Mine dies a lot quicker now that they've updated it. In like the first day this week, like he was pulling. I had him as tank, but he was pulling. I don't even know where he's pulling stuff from. Narnia. He opened a closet and brought it all back to us.
He has a little chain pull.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like he was like passing something, and it was going through like floors of the side street one.
Nice.
And I was like, "Where is this stuff even coming from? Like, what are you doing?" So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Lithian, you tried the question mark boss, right?
Oh,
I mean, I couldn't. My Brann, I tried it on healing, tank, and DPS. All three of them died within 20 seconds of the pull. So I'm starting to think maybe I'm getting fucked. Like
mine doesn't die, but he also doesn't help a lot.
I'd be fine if he just didn't help a lot.
I'd be fine if he kicked a goddamn bomb.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Once I figure out the bomb kicking, I don't know. Have many people gotten that down yet, or is it like?
Yeah,
they have. Okay.
Most people are saying this is a much more reasonable boss.
It is. Yeah. I can't do the mechanic like.
Well, you also have 30 eye levels of gear to get still, you know.
Yeah, but I did question mark last season without gear and without a good Brann. But I'm struggling with the physical mechanic, like that I can't click the balls when the guy's on top of it. I need a hotkey that interact. Somebody was telling me that you can.
It's the interact key.
Yeah, I need a hotkey, the interact key, and try it with that because it was just impossible to click when his giant fucking body was on top. Yeah, maybe next week.
All right, well, we'll revisit delves for our friend Thomas. So we'll back to that.
Yeah,
later.
Thomas, this one's for you, bud.
I've been enjoying delves a lot though.
I like delves, yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna say I did a delve. I enjoyed it, and granted, I only did it just because I think I was trying to get like the weeklies done or something. And I was like, you know what? I really should do a couple more at least early in the season to get the heroic gear. I haven't.
It's enjoyable.
I should. I don't know what I'm thinking. Like, why am I not doing?
They should they should try to keep it so the gear is relevant, and then I think people would be more apt to do it.
Well, I'm using a trinket for my delve right now. Like
they added gilded crests to it so that you can get the top
and
level
hero
crests.
track gear is pretty relevant for most.
No, but I mean, like, say, like 4 weeks in, 5 weeks in, when everyone's trying to get mythic gear, I think it'd be cool if they did something like do 4 delves and get like a random.
So like the time walking quest type of thing.
Yeah, the same idea. Yeah. Anyway, it's just an idea.
I could see the pros and cons for both sides of it. All right, Scrap, you wanted to talk about this real quick?
I love it. That's it.
Adorable fox theme woodland transmog.
I want to put my Worgen in the wolf outfit.
I want to see what it looks like.
You can put a Volpera in the fox outfit. It's cute.
Oh my god.
This is for me. I don't care if anybody doesn't like it.
We
I
got a lot of flaming for Blizzard for the trading post being very butterfly and fairy, and now we got.
I don't mind the butterfly. I mean, it doesn't suit any of my characters, but like, it's cool for other people.
Yeah, but that almost looks more like a rabbit than a wolf. The top one, the gray one.
A wolf, or maybe it's a cat. I don't know if that.
It looks like the
they say
cheeks
fox
look weird.
themed.
Yeah, it doesn't look as woofy as snout. It looks stubbier. Anyway,
right. That looks like a cat. Actually, now that
like
you said
a cat or a rabbit.
Such
it looks
furry.
I think I just assumed it was a wolf because the fox and there's a raccoon. Look at the raccoon and it's got a banded tail.
Oh, Shiny left.
No, I'm coming back.
Bobbert's here.
We love Bobber.
So the question I have for you here: has the war left Warcraft, guys? Come on.
No, fuck you. I like this. Wolves are badass. Wolves are cool. Like wolves in war is sick. And then now you can be a wolf even if you're not a warcraft.
I would take this set over a goblin themed mage tier set.
I'll tell you, the guy. Let me tell you, the guy wearing it doesn't look very enthused.
It's Khadgar. That's
Khadgar. Yeah, he's just not happy. I mean, look at him.
Why'd they put Khadgar in that? They should have put a cute little Volpera in that because it's fox themed. Let me see what Volpera looks like in it.
Double fox. Well, you can get on the PTR and you can see it for yourself.
Yes, it's cute. I love it. This is what the trading post is for. No, I'm not. I'm gonna get it in real life when I have it in my hands.
In real life.
Well, look,
I'm gonna buy all 4.
What about these new mounts coming in?
The motorcycle's great.
So we got a turtle.
Motorcycle's great.
We got this. What is this? A Lynx.
Lynx.
Cool. All these void mounts coming in for the whatever those things.
Chimeras are cool.
Chimeras look pretty cool. I mean, like
Oh, that's a chimera. That's sick.
Yeah,
they haven't had a new chimera in a while, like since.
Have they had a 2-headed?
Yeah.
Mount from last season.
From last season? No.
That boss
Necrotic
from
Wake.
Necrotic Wake, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, that was from Shadowlands.
That's from Shadowlands, but
that's what I said. That's the last one I think they had.
Finally
was
have a reason for the void cycle coming in, and that's going to be again through the.
That's the Mountain Dew one.
Well, the Mountain Dew one's green.
It's a purple Mountain Dew one,
or something like that. Yeah,
the recolor.
Oh, those void. Oh, I like the void horsey. That's cute.
Yeah, I mean,
instead of recoloring, they just added a little void.
That looks good.
You know what horse I need to go back and get is that one from the
red one.
Yeah, the Westfall one that was in.
What the hell's her name? Blanchy. Yeah.
I need to go back and get that.
That's a great one. I still have the horseshoes for it. So, I like that. It's a Tyvon.
Yeah, it's a
brown Tyvon.
Yeah, it's like he's armored a little bit.
Yeah, he's cute.
But everyone's losing their minds over this hedgehog.
Not for me, but I think it's cute.
Nah.
If I had
Worgen would look silly on it.
Yeah, that's not going to be good for a big guy like me and Lithian.
No.
I like the
goat.
The
I have the black running goat.
Yeah. Why a goat? I wonder. Oh, it's trading post. It's just a different color.
Yeah, it's just.
It's the spotted black goat. Can you bring the goat up right quick?
Yeah, bring the goat up. Let's have a look at the goat. Oh, it's cute.
I
don't
have
see
the
any
black
spots.
goat. I know.
Yeah, it's got spots in its neck.
Where?
Oh yeah.
Under all the.
Patches.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's got these white patches on its neck. Check your monitor.
It's a patch.
Whatever.
That's a patch goat, not a spot goat.
I don't see spots.
Okay. Oh, and my question is it going to be little? Like, you know, the little Red Riding Goat? Is it going to be that size?
Well, the black goat
probably for you because you're
tiny.
a twin.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. What about these new pets that are coming?
Oh,
No.
look at him.
No.
They're chihuahuas.
Yeah, but look, they're gonna have little hats for them. This is where I'd start saying battle pets would become way more fun, as if they did this for all battle pets. Like my little mini Diablo wearing the shark head.
Oh my god, I love chihuahuas. I'm always sending Darren chihuahua videos. He won't let me have one.
No, why would you want one, man?
They're so
bad.
cute.
This looks way cuter than an actual Chihuahua looks like.
An actual Chihuahua is ugly as hell.
Yeah, it needs its eyes bugging out for this to be an actual Chihuahua.
I'm so glad that they're making all these different kinds of dogs. Like they have the corgi. They had kind of like a Bernese mountain dog kind of thing. Like they're Chihuahuas. Oh,
shout out to
cute.
Leo. This is what I think his dog looked like.
Oh yeah,
before
Rocky.
he passed away. Yeah, Rocky.
Yep.
Nice.
But that just means that someday they're gonna make my dog, so I'm happy for that. I'm excited. I need a little spotty hound dog and a black lab.
All right. Well, let's move on to the main topic today, which is Mythic Plus.
Oh, there's the main topic.
Yeah, I mean it's. Oh no, that's actually sorry. I have a second main topic. I completely forgot a main topic. We need to get going because we're running out of time. Okay,
no,
Mythic Plus
nerf.
I just wanted to take a quick look at it. Just some nerfs. Who cares? Anyways, everything was nerfed by a lot.
Okay, cool. Let's nerf. Let's go. Wait, Mercury is buffed though.
Well, yes, but that was after this major nerf here.
It's fine.
Okay.
So I wanted to take a look real quick to see. Well, let's look at spec popularity first. So here's our spec popularity.
Oh my god.
Okay. Look at the very bottom here. Oh.
Look, I'm down there too.
Not as bad as augmentation.
Dude, Aug is dead. Because Aug was up top. Go to season 1.
Hold on. I want to show you something real quick because someone posted this on here all levels. I think everything above level 5. They have 0 represent. Like they're not even playing anything above that.
Can we see season 1? Like where was Aug at season 1? It was like in the top 5, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say it was in the top 5. Rhett
I know,
was
but it
like
was
the number 1. But
has any spec ever fallen that bad before?
Well,
in the history of specs.
Yes, but I don't have specific data.
From top 5 to bottom 5? Yeah, okay, well, somebody in the comments tell us. No, Survival Hunter is always the bottom. Well, hold on, actually, that's not true. Dragonflight, no, not Shadowlands Season 4, everybody talks about that, where we were completely broken, insanely broken, and they were just like, let them have it for
oh, wow, hold on, look at this. Okay, so we actually have some key numbers here, so hold on, let's go back. There have been 11.364 million keys ran since season 2 started.
Lithium Knight got 30 of them.
And Rhett's in about 1 million of those.
You know what surprises me about that is where they were saying like Rhett wouldn't be like meta. I thought more people would switch off Rhett for season 2.
I know
it's just meta, it's easy to play.
I thought more people would switch off it, and like I want to switch off it just because I want to get loot and raid. But,
good luck, buddy.
All right, so let's look real quick at its DPS to see how it's performing. So it's performing. I mean, you can see it's very popular, and this is last.
Oh my god! Look at Survival Hunter.
All right, let's look at last week's. So yeah, so Rhett was performing very well. Beaten out by barely some rogue and some elemental shamans, which LOL got a 17% shadow nerf by accident this week.
Oop.
But they were definitely up there in the performance anyways. Like they were performing well. So I think that's part of the problem is that Rhett's going to be very popular because 1, a lot of people I think enjoy the theme of it. 2, it's doing good, and 3, it is maybe a little bit easier. I don't know. I'm not going to.
This is my comment when people say it's easy. It's easy to just DPS. It's a lot harder to be like using all your utility. And DPS
you know what? You're right. But 90% of the ones I play with don't ever sack anybody. So,
that's the least of the things, right?
Well, you also listed. Oh, go on, Shawnee.
Yeah, no, I think, I'd never sit here and say like the DPS rotations like insanely hard, but I think like to properly use it to its full potential, it's like not as easy as say a Beastmaster Hunter.
Yeah, Frank, you listed 1, 2, 3, but 4 is why I take them is because of the utility. Because they can potentially sack, bubble, battle res.
They lay their hands on
hands.
Hold on. So
anyway, that's all I want to say about how easy it is.
Right. Again, this is going back to the whole pug problem anyway, but I think of Necrotic Wake last season, having Blessing of Protection was very helpful at one point in the key. But it didn't make or break the key, right?
Yeah.
And I think prop pallies can only do Blessing of Salvation. What's the one that like Spell Warning, Blessing of Spell Warning? That's out, right? And then Blessing of Freedom very rarely, and other classes have things to get out of things as well. And like I agree that utility on paladins in general is awesome, but it's very rarely necessary, and pugs don't fucking use it. So
yeah,
like,
pugs don't use it.
So like, hell, they don't even use their cleanse. I was in a mistweaving, and there's, I can't remember where it was, but there was like a lot of poisons going out, and I had a prop pally and a ret pally, right? And I'm like, I'm just not going to cleanse them because I've got to cleanse all these other people who can't. They're just going to have to deal with it, and if they die, right?
So they may not have taken cleanse because it's optional.
Sure,
Which it should not be optional in keys.
No, but
like,
even then, like they're going into a key that has poison. They should, again, I wouldn't be upset if it was just one poison, because it's like, yep, they got it. I'm taking off.
I would say they should, but how many times have we gone into keys with people we know and they're like, oh, I didn't take a poison cleanse totem on a shaman.
Sure, but that's like, them admitting that they made a mistake, right? Like, these people, I think, are actively not either paying attention or they just don't care.
Weaponizing competence.
They're just trolling. Yeah, they're just trolling.
So anyways, let's just kind of talk about the season 2 week 1 state.
That's what's okay. So before we go, Lithian and I were talking about this earlier. Sub rogue being S surprises me
now,
because when I played it, it was like you mess up your rotation, and I haven't played it for like, an expansion. But when you messed up your rotation, your DPS for the rest of the key was just gone. Like, for that fight at least, like if you mess up one button, it was over for you.
Yeah.
So maybe it got easier, but it was a hard spec to play.
There's probably been reworks. I mean, and stuff, because all classes got a bit of tuning and reworking.
So anyway,
so this is based off, they do their tier rankings based off of this value. I can't remember what this value stands for.
Yeah, what is that?
I was hoping to see if they had
performance, or is it just play?
I think it's a concatenation of a few things.
A what?
If I recall.
A what now?
A what? Stop using big words.
A cavacration. I've never heard that word before. Is that a computer word?
No, it's not a computer word.
What is the word?
Maybe it is.
No,
they're just combining. They're combining a couple of different things together to come up with a score.
Like an aggregate.
Yeah.
Okay. There's another word for that. Can you write that down for me later? I'm going to use it to impress my friends.
Scrap, can we? Okay, I'm taking a pause real quick. Can we talk about how you don't understand how parses work?
No, because I stand by that I do. I don't think we have a short enough time to have that conversation.
You're right.
Because I don't think I can be convinced that that's how that works.
No, I owe you a PowerPoint, and I'll make you one. I promise.
Please, because if that's really how it works, I think they should delete BM Hunters permanently from the game.
There is an AUG evoker out there doing 11, so good for them.
Yeah.
They're probably with somebody's team.
But Beastmaster and Dev have done 14s as the highest. So Subtlety hasn't done a 14 or a 13.
Survival Hunters dogging it with AUG. What the hell?
Outlaw has done a 14.
Yeah.
So like for me, that's where I'd say what meta is, like who's doing the highest thing.
I could do an 11.
Dude,
That's the highest that Survival Hunter's done.
Sure.
Dude.
I can do 12.
Don't do a 12 real quick.
Hold on.
I don't have one.
This is exactly where parses come back in, right? Because the reason why they haven't done a 12 is because they're all playing BM or marksman,
right,
instead of survival. It's the same reason why Arcane is in the dog doo-doo numbers, because they're all playing frost or fire instead. So
Yeah. Can you talk to me a little bit about how parses work?
No.
I'm joking.
I'll make a PowerPoint for next week.
Next week, my question of the week was, can somebody please explain parses to me?
Exactly.
Frank will have a PowerPoint. It's fine.
Yeah, we're going to have a PowerPoint.
I do want to see which dungeons are considered the easiest. Give me one
Rookery.
second.
But
Dark
this
Flame
might have
Cleft.
changed because Rookery at the timer they tightened up.
Dark Flame Cleft and Rookery.
Dark Flame Cleft, I don't think we've ever not +2'd it.
Yeah, it's so easy.
We donkeyed the front of that.
We donkeyed it, dude. We had 16 deaths before we even completed the second pull, and we +2'd an 8.
I don't want to talk about that, but yeah.
But we donkeyed the fuck out of it, bro.
Listen, I don't want to talk about it. As we're all dying, trying just to run back, he's like,
"That was fine.
Focus this. We can't even get back to the mob." And he's like, pry out
fine,
of this
guys.
mob. I'm like, I can't even
And
get
it goes
there.
by. You know that second mob, just to explain to paint the picture for everybody, it knocks mobs everywhere. We had pulled the whole room just from it getting
great.
mobs knocked. And Lithian, of course, he's alive, he's fine, but we're getting complete. And I said, Lithian, maybe we should reset this. Lithian, maybe we should reset this. A full minute passes, 16 deaths go by, and he's like, no, just kick stuff. I'm like, Lithian, fuck, reset it. Like we're not. It's not happening. We're not killing it.
It was rough. It was rough. We made it.
I have to make a correction. I have to make a correction. I don't even know where I'm like trying to remember where I even got that 11 million.
Go edit it.
No, I'm not gonna edit it. I'm gonna say own it.
2 million. That's a lot less.
Yes, that's a lot less. Where did I get? Oh, I know where I got it from. The
11
Red
million
Paladins.
people?
It was the popularity because it said like 11 million samples. I don't know how that number's calculated.
Oh, 11 million runs. Oh wait, that can't be right.
No,
11 million including all the players. Because it's 5.
Yeah, there's
per
900.
That would still be
900.
like, oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Well,
there's
it's
2 million
11
keys running 5 per key, so there'd be 11 million instances of
like if you go to the second one, is it still 11 million?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's
everybody.
Yeah,
that makes sense. It's 5 times whatever all the runs.
Oh, I'm Frank. I know how parses work, but not how regular numbers do.
He owned it. He owned it, Strap. It's so
one,
I won't own it.
I admitted to the correction. 2, I also was able to see the math once it was talked about. What are you talking
we're gonna
about?
have to have a parse episode next week. Next week is the parse episode. Tune out of it if you don't like math. Somebody's gonna explain something to me while I obtusely say no, that's not how it works. It's gonna be very fun.
It's not.
Popcorn.
It's not gonna be fun.
Such a moron.
I fucking stand by it. There's no way we can. I don't want to get into it. I'm not gonna learn.
Why can't I see all? Okay, let's look at the heat maps real quick. Where's everyone dying?
Oh yeah, the heat maps. These are fun.
Well,
first
room in Cinnabrew for sure.
I'd like to point out when you guys are like, why does this episode always take 2 hours?
What? Because you don't like vibes?
Yeah.
Look, that's where you guys died, right there.
That's where all our 16 deaths.
Hold on. You guys?
Also, we weren't even there yet. I think we were.
we were like right here.
Yeah, we pulled everything over there.
This was your fault.
This is your fault.
Fine. You know where Frank died? He died on that railroad track.
Yeah. Look, I'm one of these people. I'm one of these 2 people.
Fell off the cart.
2 people have died in this zone. I'm one of them.
Yeah, he fucking fell off the cart, dude.
No, I didn't. I got meleeed by the kobolds.
Yep.
I don't know how you, like arms inside, bro.
Keep your arms inside. Yeah, he didn't belt up.
Unbelievable. Oh,
that was
no
workshop.
All right, floodgate. Wow.
Everywhere.
Wow,
everywhere. Everybody dies everywhere.
Just weapon stockpiles are where.
Can you see underneath the inside room?
They usually have a thing where you can drop it down, but
it's normally like by the stairs or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So everywhere.
God.
Everywhere.
Everyone's dying everywhere.
I'm surprised there's not more on the last boss. People quit before it.
Yeah. All right, priorities. Take a guess.
Oh,
First
last
pull.
room. Yeah.
Everybody's going left.
Oh no, sorry, that's the front.
Everyone's going left.
Dying when they go left. Everyone
they're all going left and dying.
This is where the pros go, right? Because they're like, yeah, we can handle this.
I haven't seen it nerfed, but when I saw that one mob, the casting of the fire, I was like, somebody is gonna have a heart attack and die from this spell effect.
Okay,
Motherlode, we died.
Surprising.
We died in all those places.
No, but I don't.
Is that the beginning?
No, this is after the first boss.
That's the second.
Feel like I cut out there for like 45 seconds.
Oh, were you talking? I'm sorry, dog.
was.
You
I
didn't
kept
have
telling
anything
you
to
guys to
say.
stop
It's
talking.
probably fine.
No, so
just edit it out.
I'm just gonna come back to this real quick.
Okay. Pretend we're seeing it for the same time. Oh my god! For the first time.
No, I'll figure out a way to edit it. Anyways, I was just saying that I'm surprised to see this area right here as the one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, because like this right here is like where I see every pug.
That's
fuck
where
around.
we're dying. Yeah.
Well, we don't die there because we don't go left. Lithium makes us go right. Saves their life.
No, we're gonna go from now on. We're gonna go left and then veer onto the dance floor.
I think the dance floor is a good spot because if you're on the dance floor, there's not a lot that you can pull.
Wait, hold on. What are you guys talking about?
The beginning, the dance floor.
At the beginning.
What do you mean veer off to the left?
We're gonna go to. We're gonna follow the left.
Like behind here.
No, probably we're gonna pull this 3-pack.
Go down the middle. The dance floor is right there.
I'm not gonna get into a routing conversation.
How is that any different than what we're
talking about routing?
No, Frank, we're talking about when we get to the T there, right in front of the big building.
Yeah,
Lithium was going right.
Yeah, we jump over the thing to skip the guy. So you're not gonna skip him?
Yeah, no. Well, I want to. I want to go on the box.
Okay.
I don't think we can do that if we go left. We can't skip him.
Rookery.
No, I said left to the right.
Where's everyone dying?
Left to the right, sure.
Definitely right here for the first pull, but let's okay, over here on the left.
Those casters suck, dude.
Yeah, they
this
suck.
room right here, and that's because they probably pulled this shit into it and they shouldn't.
Yeah, dude, those guys are gnarly even by themselves. Fuck.
What?
On the 10 it was brutal.
Well, this is like only a couple deaths, so not really that many.
Yeah.
And then of course all this shit, this whole area is pretty toxic.
Those two are rough, yeah.
We cruised through all that, man.
Yeah, but those are the ones with the balls that come out and they just one-shot you, so that makes sense. Theater of Pain. Well, it's kind of hard to say because all these are different rooms.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's pretty.
Okay, this is. Oh, that's downstairs, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are ovaries, dude. Look at that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Did you never see that?
No, I never look at the map.
I would think this right here is where more people die because there's people who don't interrupt the sludge spewer, and this is where we'd always die.
All you need is one person.
No, there's two.
No, that's Scrap likes to. Is that the part where Scrap likes to hit hero for no reason?
No, that's not the part.
She's done it before, yes.
You asked for it.
I didn't ask for it.
You did as a Hayward did. I didn't know it was a joke. I thought it was for real.
Why is this one so much less deadly
than that one?
Than this? Because this has the same one Putrid Butcher and 2 Sledge Spewers. This has that and all these other guys that are jumping around and doing whatever.
Because you pop hero there, and so it makes it easier.
I've never seen any of us die in either place.
No, I've never died. We've never died in any of this. It's crap. Maybe in Shadowlands
right here when Lithian's just not paying attention.
I don't think we have not successfully skipped that guy one time.
I have.
In Shadowlands we have, but not in Warcraft.
I have this season, just not with you.
No, you fucking haven't. Show the tapes.
So
I will.
Is the season feeling good for y'all?
I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm having a good time, man.
What about the dungeon pool? I know we did our rankings, but like, do you feel like it's a good dungeon pool?
It's one of the best.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Floodgate's a little Floodgate can be challenging, especially on that swamp face boss, and they just fixed it so it doesn't prefer healers now, which means I'm gonna get it every time as the tank. So
I will say there's not a dungeon that I'm like, ugh, this one, except Dark Flame Clef, but that's not because I don't like it, it's just because I'm sick of her.
Oh, it's easy.
But all the other ones I'm like low key, like I'm excited for Floodgate, for Priory.
I like Dark Flame a lot.
Theater of Pain.
I like it.
We've done it too many damn times. I feel like half my keys is Dark
Dude,
Flame. And every time we plus 2 it. No, it's not a random roll. They're giving it to us. I swear to God. I'm a conspiracy theorist on this. There's no way.
We got Priory. I had a Priory, then I got a Dark Flame, now I got another Priory.
Yeah, the Priory favoritism is crazy. But I really like Priory, yeah. There's not a dungeon. Last season for me it was Stone Vault. I fucking hate Stone Vault. It sucks. I don't like being inside.
Yeah.
It's just shitty. But like this season so far, not one that I don't like. I like them all. I'm excited for all of them. Is there one for you, Frank, that you just don't? You're like,
I think Theater of Pain, the changes have been mostly good.
What?
Oh,
okay.
Mostly good.
Wait, go on. Finish your sentence.
Go on.
So I don't hate it as much as I thought I would.
Yeah.
Workshop's kind of meh, but changes are good.
Workshop.
I don't think there's one that I'm like, oh man, I don't want to run that. Like, because even the hard ones, Cinderbrew, the trash is just offensive, I think. But
Cinderbrew, I think, is going to be the one I don't like by the end of the season. But right now, I'm just like trying to get my head around it, so I am excited to see it when it crossed our desk.
Cinderbrew got better once they nerfed the stuff they nerfed last week. It feels better to play.
It feels better now that I learned the bees, even though Frank didn't want me to do any bees.
No, we learned it. We learned it.
Yeah, we learned it.
Fine.
I got to apologize, and I don't want Lithian to do anything about it, but Lithian, your camera is like very slow. I don't know if you guys see the same thing.
No? What do you mean slow?
Like he's like trailing. Everyone else's camera's fine, but
that's what mine was doing earlier. Say something, Lithian.
Hello.
No, it's fine. It looks fine for me.
It doesn't look fine on mine. Okay, well, I apologize to people at home who are seeing it that way. I'm not going to deal with it.
If they're seeing it that way.
Okay.
Lithian.
No, they are seeing that way because I'm watching what's being recorded.
Yeah, I know.
Rip.
Okay. Are you guys ready to talk about our main topic?
No, I thought we were talking about the main topic.
Nope.
Okay,
well, everyone might take a little pause here and say, well, why are all the hosts wearing different clothes? And the answer is, my internet is absolute trash. We were in the middle of, like 12:30, 12:45 last night recording, and all of a sudden, and there may even be some cuts of it with like Lithian's camera I mentioned during last night's stream. So we just went ahead and said, fine, let's call it, and we'll come back and do it again today. Today is Thursday. So the reason we wanted to make sure we came back was we had a very important topic to discuss, and that's the reason why Shawnee's here. So, are you guys ready to jump in?
Yay.
Let's hit it.
Let's hit it. All right. So, earlier, and I'm putting today as an asterisk because it was really yesterday, Blizzard out of nowhere put out a post about the new decorating feature within player housing, okay? Shawnee, you are a resident housing expert, and by the way, should note, no one's seen Flux on the podcast before. He was actually technically in our very, very, very first episode that I threw away because my mic sounded like shit. But Flux is also your co-correspondent on this. He might show up in a future episode. I feel like I should mention him or else he'll be very upset with me.
Oh, he's like co-HOA with me.
Yeah, he's the HOA, head of HOA with you in our new MDL neighborhood. But the article came out, again, to a big surprise, I think, to all of us, talking about what is coming in player housing, starting with the interior decoration, okay? Just some caveats. There is some other things to discuss, like exterior. I think they talk about, how mounts and pets will come in. Exterior designing of the house versus the interior shape of it. I'm going to let Shawnee talk more about that in a second, but just understand that what we're focusing on today is just how do we put, we'll call them doodads, because I think that's the official term of it in design. How do we put doodads down to make our house look beautiful? Okay? So Shawnee, take it away.
Yeah, so the article itself starts talking about basic feature level of just like, you can put a table down, and then they're like, you can move it left, right, up and down. It has snapping, which Frank knows way more about me. A little grip to snap it to. I don't understand snapping. I'm not a programmer person.
Well, they have the snapping technology in the UI elements too, right? Like if you are editing your UI, you can snap it.
Yeah, if you make a WeakAura or something.
Yeah, so anyway, so first off, we have this table. We can move around. Cool, awesome. You can put it pretty much wherever you want in basic, as Frank shows it twirl and go. And then as you go down, he's like, oh, look at this couch. It's so nice. And then look at where the window goes. And it will make sure it goes to the layer it should, so you don't like put it behind a fireplace. It won't actually on basic let you put it through the floor either. So then,
well, hold on. One other thing too is notice the dynamic lighting. The lighting moves with it too, which I think is also a nice, a little nuanced thing that we actually I don't even think we talked about last night.
No, we did,
but it's really important to the ambient nature of the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So then. Now as you go down, now you have this just shows if you put everything on your table, which is nice, and you have it all set up or a bookshelf or whatever, just how you like it. And then you're like, I want to move it. You don't have to move all the things separately, which would be insane and drive me nuts. So I really like that. So if you do your bookshelf just how you want. And I like the idea that you can put so many things on it.
Yeah, I mean, you said bookshelf. Like, so the idea is that we're going to be putting books individually on the bookshelf?
Yeah, that's how I understand it. Like they do mention like you can put different stuff in the bookshelf. So
I'm gonna spend fucking hours on doing that.
Yeah, like
happily, right?
Yeah. So as you go down further in the article.
All right, so that was the basic design, but there is another side to it, right?
Yeah, in advance, I'd say for me to like quickly sum up advance per se, the first part is basically you can move anything in any direction however you want. You can make it like the upside down air room for Mary Poppins, so you can put this table halfway through a wall. You can like Scrap said yesterday, you can make it look like someone came in and ransacked your house and stuff's all like there's no access, you can't really put it on as far as I understand.
Yeah. So within the advanced features they use vectors, right? So the X, Y, and Z axis. And for anyone who's messed around, After Effects is a good example, and I think maybe even Photoshop with like 3D objects in it can do this as well. You might be familiar with how this works, but it's more than just snapping to like a table to the floor or a window to the wall. This allows you to essentially say, I want a table in the middle of the air, right?
Yeah.
And I saw on Twitter today, someone even said like, oh, does this mean I can do like jumping puzzles in my house?
Parkour puzzle in your house?
Oh, you might be able to. That would make sense.
That's pretty cool.
But I'm thinking you can also maybe get really, really, really stuck in your house.
Oh, can you imagine? You're just like...
Trap yourself in.
And this here is just showing how you can rotate the table.
Well, you can rotate them on the axes as well, right?
Yeah, and like flip them and whatnot, which is great. I mean, I'll talk about it in a second, but yeah, this is really good. And then this continues to show how it.
Oh, is this shrink?
Yeah, you can downsize it and upsize it. So if you want to have like, you don't want to be like a torn at a tiny table.
Yeah.
For Volpera also.
And I wonder if they just have a set size and then you move it, or if it knows your character model size and it always goes to it. But either way, it's fine. I'm not gonna.
I would assume they just have a general, like, this table is, and like, they showed the grid earlier, but like 8x4 in the grid.
Yeah.
But what I also love about this is, okay, so again, the advanced allows you to do all those axis gimbals. However, they do not restrict you, as it seems, in any way to make a table that is literally the size of an entire room, right? Like,
I think
we can have
Alice in Wonderland it,
or we can have like the Knights of the Round Table kind of, mega table where we all sit and 400 people are eating.
Well, I know from like using a gimbal is like a really commonplace. Like if you've played like Planet Coaster or Planet Zoo, like it's a similar principle. Like you can take anything, you can resize it, you can make it huge. What ends up happening is that there will be like, oh, you can make a really cool handle for your door using a table, or like, oh, you can build like a really cool fireplace using 3 tables and 2 bricks and this sort of thing, because they're all gonna be like resized and such. So I'm excited to do stuff like that, get creative with it.
I want to point out that one they show here is like really Christmas theme, and I feel like the holidays is gonna be hard not to like change my house around. And like I can see me now at Christmas and my wife being like, "Hey, come decorate the tree." I'm like, "I am decorating the tree.
Yeah,
decorating the whole house." Like, yeah. And then it goes on after the advance. Like you can move everything. It talks about dying, which I am so glad they put in. It's been in Diablo 4 that you can like dye your transmog. So this has pretty much every color. So it'll be really nice now that you can like have a whole color theme through the house. It's just a lot.
Can we all sit around the mage table?
Oh, right? The mage table.
Oh, yeah. Holy shit! Do we put our faces on top of our characters at the table? We'll just all get green screens and we'll all put it like as if we're there.
One of the rooms can be a podcast studio.
Yeah, we could do a new intro where we all go to Frank's house and sit around the mage table.
Yeah.
Then just
Well, hold on, real quick on this. I love the fact though that like they didn't just leave it to you only get to pick the color of the sheets. Like this bed has 3 different accent colors, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
So that's awesome.
You can make the ugliest house ever.
That's the gist. Oh yeah, and then here is they're talking about the layout of your house, and they let you put in partitions so you can. Like from the outside, it might look one way, like small, but inside it can be as big or small as you want. So far.
Well, okay. Well, hold on. So that's not entirely true because you see here, there's a room limit.
So it's like House. Have you read House of Leaves?
But they also seem to have multi-floor, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's gonna cost 100,000 gold a floor.
That's fine. I can fit everything on the bottom floor.
Totally worth it.
Yeah. So the house layout was pretty cool. Too.
So also you can draw the walls. It sounds like, right?
Yeah.
So you can partition in any way. You like no shape is off limits for how you want to build your house as well.
So, go on.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was to say, remind me, is it 1 house per warband, like per account?
Yes.
Okay, because I was gonna say I might need to make a room for each character. So like this is Scrapclaw's room and this is Braylon's room.
I don't think they're going to limit you to 1 house per warband. You can do that, but I don't think they're going to limit you because remember they talked about the fact that you could have a horde character that your alliance character goes to, but also vice versa. And I'm wondering if they will say, hey, like, my alliance character might want to have his own house and my horde character. I mean, all your characters might want to have their own house. You might have an entire neighborhood of all your alts, right?
Oh my god, this is going to take a lot of my time. Gladly, but yeah, what a problem. But I mean, I get really like when I'm playing like Planet Zoo and stuff, like I'll build a building brick by fucking brick and I'll sit there with the gimbal turning it like a tiny inch. Like I get really into it.
Yeah. Oh, I thought they had said just you get 1 house, but like your warband can visit it no matter what their faction was. But I could be wrong too. You might. Well,
sure. But then like how do they differentiate between, like so if I buy 1 on my horde character, is that it? That's it forever? I can't have 1 in Elwyn Forest?
I don't know. for sure. I
would be
thought when they
surprised
first,
if that were the case.
yeah, who knows? Maybe you can have one per faction. I don't
Maybe.
think they even said for sure yet.
Well, and they're going to add additional spots to have houses down the road. So, you know, again, like, would you sit there and say, well, now I want to move there? Does that mean you can't keep your old house? Like I said, I would be surprised if that were the case. I really would.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there were games with neighborhood instances that had player housing that
Wait,
that
Lithium
were
wasn't here when we looked at that. That's what they said they're gonna do. They showed
Oh.
concept art of like these giant neighborhoods,
Yeah.
like in
Yeah.
like Duratar, and it's like, okay, here's like the beachfront property and stuff, and like a guild would say like, okay, we're gonna hole up in Elwyn Forest, and it's like you get this plot, you get that plot, and we're all in the same
okay.
neighborhood. It's really fucking cool. That
Here's an
concept art.
example where they essentially used clipping of
Mhm.
a
Yeah, it's
barrel
like a
and a
little
table to make
sidebar.
like a bar, which I thought is cool.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna
I'm
go
not-
crazy with
I'm
this.
not that creative. I'll visit Scrap's house.
That's pretty
So
cool.
Yeah.
that was the gist of it, and then they just talked about like basically like that. There's going to be a lot more posts coming out. We're going to talk about how professions fit in, how like your pets, transmog mounts, all that's going to work at the outside. It's just
So
the start.
they're talking a good game. Do
Yeah.
you guys actually think they're going to be able to execute on this?
Well,
I
the
mean,
fact
just
that they have
visually,
this-
what they have to show is enough. I
I
think.
mean, yeah, these are cool videos.
But yeah, but Lithium, hold on. Just this, like if they stopped here, right? And they
enough for
made
me.
everything as basic as you could possibly imagine elsewhere. Like, like you can only put one mount and it has to sit outside in a little haystack, and your house all looks the same in the neighborhood, which we've already confirmed is not the case. Like even if they just stopped here, this is, in my opinion, so far above and beyond what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
Well, what I mean by execute is making it so that it actually works the way they say it's going to work, and it doesn't have a bunch of bugs, and it's not constantly crashing.
Well, everything
and-
has bugs.
So
They,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I think it'll work better than people are thinking, because they had said before, like, just because they've just announced player housing coming out now doesn't mean they haven't been working on it for some time. And
clearly.
so I think they've been working on it. I have no way of knowing. It's just
I still believe that game that they announced that they were hiring for, I think this is that team, and they've been working on it since then.
I also think they've been working on it since Draenor, when they're like, all right, we like the idea of like an instant base house for people, but like, how do we make it work? Because we couldn't make it work well then.
Yeah.
And I do think there's been people working on it a long time, because for them to say like, hey, we're going to bring out player housing, and they're like, it's going to be evergreen, is what they said, and they're like, bear with us, because what first comes out won't be the be all end all of the house. This is way above and beyond what I thought they would be showing us now.
Yeah.
I expected like only what they have for basic is still way better than what I thought they were going to have for their version of advanced.
I agree. Well, I also want to say, I mean, I'm not much of a programmer, but I feel like everything they're showing is stuff that's been in like The Sims for like 10 years. So this is not like
more advanced than The Sims.
Well, it is, but I'm just saying they're not breaking new ground with a gimbal. Like,
no, of course
maybe
not.
in WoW they are, but it's going to be hard to adapt it to WoW. But like, there's nothing here that's like, oh my god, this has never been seen before in any game. That's going to be really bug tested. Like,
well,
yeah.
You're
For all we
taking.
know,
you're
this is the tools that they use as developers.
Yeah, they might. Yeah,
it is the tools they use as developers, but you're taking a 20-year-old game engine and you're trying to make it do something that it wasn't originally designed to do, right? And so
that doesn't compute with me. That seems like, oh yeah, that should work. I don't know.
Listen, I think
mean, we'll see.
Obviously there will be bugs. There will be
there's
issues.
gonna be hella
There'll be
bugs. They launch
minimal,
everything
right?
with bugs.
Right?
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, like, as it currently works, it's functioning. Now, yes, there might be, outliers of issues, but we're still a year away from even probably seeing this in game. And
I hear you, but my
and we'll have it on
garrison also
beta.
still works, and nobody goes to their garrison anymore.
Yeah,
I think the hazards are going to be a lot different.
I'm not saying it's comparable to a garrison. What
You're
I'm
comparing
saying
a
is
Ferrari to a Hot Wheels,
no,
dude.
but what I'm saying is this is a thing that's going to appear in an expansion, and is it going to be tied to an expansion, or is it going to be tied to your character?
No, they said it's tied to your
It's
character,
evergreen.
and it's evergreen.
And that's I will be happy to see them be successful at it. I'm just
I understand.
I'll stick with Lithian that like I do have trepidation. It's not about what they showed, but like in order for me to really engage with this, I have to be able to do something in this house, right? Like we talked about this a little bit yesterday off camera, but like in the kitchen, I should be able to work on my cooking. Like I should be able to work on paintings that go up on the wall. Like I need to be able to do stuff. Like give me a fish tank to feed the fish. Let me build, like work in the garden and actually get herbs out of it and stuff. Like I have to have a reason to like go to my house and hang out there. That's not just while I'm waiting in the key queue, because otherwise I'm just not going to really do it. Like if my primary like enjoyment of the game is doing raids and keys and stuff, and like this is just like, oh, it's a pretty house, I could say, hey Lithian, look at my house, and you say, oh yeah, that's a house, man. Like I'm gonna kind of lose interest. Like it has to be an active space.
Do you so and before we move on to that question, sorry Scrap, I ask you, we haven't heard much from you. What are you thinking?
Yeah, like you, Frank, I'm blown away by how much is available right at the get-go. I thought when this came out, you know, you would be like, I'm going to get a table. Oh, it's going to go in the spot where the table goes. And the rooms were going to be very similar, but there was going to be little bits of customization to them. So the fact that I can literally take something in the room as little as a window and put it wherever I want, make it as big as I want, I'm blown away, and I'm more excited for this than I've ever been. I'm really hoping they find a way to fit some stuff into some old content that you can farm to get, like maybe like a Nixia's head or something like that. You could put on the wall. I'm kind of already brainstorming some ideas about some rooms I want in my house. The layout thing is pretty sick too. You know, you're not just.
Do you think that there should be some rarity to those, like a Nixia's head as an example? Because if everyone could just walk in and solo it right now, like that's everyone's gonna have a Nixia's head, and that goes back to Technique's big problem.
It should be a rare drop. Like
maybe, yeah, maybe I don't. I mean, they say they're gonna do some more stuff with that, so we'll kind of see what they cook with that. But just something you can do to get some things that aren't necessarily just, oh, I went to the trading post this month. Oh, hey, they had a Nixia's head to buy or whatever. So.
Yeah, I hope this shit is widespread and hard to get, and like there's so much of it that like all our houses aren't going to look the same, you know? Because like if everybody has a Nixia's head, it's kind of like a little bit.
I don't want his head.
I do agree with Scrap though. I do think it'd be cool if, like, similar to Minecraft, you can make like a profession room and just do your alchemy or whatever there. And so yeah, it seems like there's a lot of cool features that are coming out right off the bat.
I don't just want to engage in my professions though. I want something else. I want like a little bit of maintenance. I want some Sims in it, you know?
Animal
like,
Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
There'll be like world quests that you have to go dust 5 things.
I don't want world quests. No, I need something more. I need something more than that. Like
well, okay, so going back to that point then, Scrap, right? Mm-hmm. Do you not feel like even if it does, like it doesn't include any activities, but it gives you somewhere to go in the in-betweens of keys and raid and all that stuff, do you not think you'd prefer to be there than Dornegal or anywhere else for that matter?
I would. It's just that I see myself like making the house and then like, okay, cool, it's done. You know what I mean? Like it's done. This is where I hang out and stuff. And it's like, oh, the trading post has a new thing. I'll find a spot on my wall for that. You know, like I won't engage with this that much out of the first couple months, which is maybe what they're like expecting. Like, hey, this is not a house game. This is a, you know, dungeon raid game. So it's just kind of like a little extra something for the Animal Crossing girlies, I guess. But in my dream, like I want the house to be a game, like, and not just a decorating game. I want it to be like a Sims game, you know. Like there's some reason for me to go to your house, like I can host a party or something, I don't know. Like,
well, that will lead me into my question of the week. Okay,
yeah,
so here's my question of the week for the four of you, and I'll give you my example as to how I'd answer this. So given the tech that's coming into what we've just seen, which there's still more to be seen, right? Given the tech, what thing do you think that's going to be, maybe not initially launched with player housing, but maybe a result of some other feature down the road that comes as a result of this? And I'll give you my example. So for example, we can dye all this stuff right here, right? Mm-hmm. I think that the ability to be able to dye armor is going to be coming as a result of this.
I would love that. They do that in Final Fantasy, so.
Yeah, and they do it in Diablo 4. I'm surprised they don't have it already, honestly. It's like one of the
only reason I could Go on.
Yeah, I don't know about programming or anything, but I'm just surprised it's not a thing already.
It's not a programming decision. The reason why they don't do it, I think, is because they have the ability to make one set and then use it in 5 different areas based on the color.
Yeah. They just color stuff.
However, they could do what they did with Legion artifacts and make it that you can't dye a certain thing a color until you go earn a certain feat, right?
Yeah.
Which I think people, for the most part, would be okay with.
Yeah.
But what I would love, the idea of it is, okay, so let's say tier sets. You get a certain die unlocked for whatever difficulty you complete, but outside of even the PvP dies that you might be able to get, like you currently do with tier sets, maybe there are delve sets of dies that are a different color that we haven't seen yet. And, you know, take the tier set and instead of making 6 different variants, make 20 different variants. And now I have an entire season to make this awesome tier set, you know, that they make the skeleton effectively for. And then I can dye not only the whole armor set if I want to, but mix and match, like the shoulders. I want this color and this, I want that color and whatever it may be, right? And, you know, give us 4 shades of blue and 4 shades of red and 4, so that there's like, you know, a little more personality to not just having a red tier set, but hey, I really like dark red and you really like, you know, a pinkish hue to it, whatever the case may be. And you know, so that's a tech that I see maybe possibly coming as a result of this stuff. All right, so I'll open it up to you guys. You may not have one. I'm putting you on the spot, obviously, but you know, what do you see maybe as a, like, I mean, even this right here, this is.
I got one. I got one. You ready?
Yeah.
You're gonna be able to take your companion pets and raise them in your house to be powerful and use them in pet battles.
What if they made it that you had not only pet battles, but what if you could take, like they introduced this idea of a pet that can be raised into a mount?
Yeah, dude, that's a game.
They do that, but yeah,
that's a little mini game within the game. And I was trying to key off of what like Scrap was saying, where what could you do with something like this, right?
Yeah.
And there's got to be something that brings you back to it, or something that makes you interact with it. And I was trying to think of something like that, where
I would love that.
You have to curate your pet. You have to take care of your pet, right, or whatever. You know.
Well,
that's all I got.
I got one.
Okay.
What do you got?
So I'm thinking of like Animal Crossing, and mind you, I didn't play Animal Crossing, but everybody in my fucking life did, so I absorbed it through osmosis.
I played thousands of hours of it.
If you could, like, when you go fishing and stuff, that you could like there would actually be like super rare fish and fish you can only get sometimes, and you could actually bring them in as fish tanks and as trophies on your wall, and like doing things like that. Or maybe like, you know, when you're urban, you have a chance to get like a really rare seed that's just like a cosmetic seed that you can grow in your house and stuff like that.
Like in pots and vases and whatnot.
Yeah, I would love to see just like ultra super rare things come out of just like fishing, or like, you know, like that. That's like, oh, like when I was, you know, on my 100th ore node, I got like a sparkling like purple diamond, and I can like put it, you know, in a glass you know, thing.
Like a shiny Pokemon kind of scenario.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that there would be a reason for me to sit and farm fish, right? Like I'm like, dude, I'm trying to catch that fucking whale shark, bro. Like, so I can hang it on my wall.
For the aquarium you have in your house.
I think that's what kept people really playing Animal Crossing, is like the idea that like, oh, I need to like finish my museum, or like, oh, I got like 1 out of 50 like Allosaurus bones or something. Like if I can go around digging up bones and it's like, okay, I just need like a lower jaw to like a dinosaur that maybe I can trade with Lithian, you know, to complete the fucking Stegosaurus or Stegodon's skeleton that's in my front room, you know. Well, so
okay, let's take that a step further, because we talk about how I would want to revisit my house for other reasons. Well, what about holidays, right? I mean, they've already showcased holidays with the trees and stuff, but every time there's an in-game holiday, even things like Children's Week or whatever, like you could have decorations around the house, which can go, like, I don't engage with the holiday stuff ever, but if I knew that I could get decorations for my house, I definitely would.
Yeah, like Christmas tree and stuff.
Make a like Beetlejuice type house for Halloween.
Yeah, exactly. Haunted house, right?
You know what I worry about though?
What?
Is they try to turn this into a source of revenue, so you can go out and you could buy things with money to enhance your house. And I mean,
well, if they do a super rare like fish or something that you can sell in the auction house, people will buy WoW tokens to put into the economy. You know,
hold on.
It's okay that they do that, but they can't do it for. Go ahead.
Lithian, have you seen the Sims model?
The Sims model is predatory.
Yeah, they got a bunch of these packs. I keep buying these.
Yeah.
I keep buying these packs.
Define a bunch of.
For you playing
There's I don't know how
it's like hundreds.
This 14-year-old kid plays it, man. And she keeps asking for these packs, and they're like $10, right?
Yeah, and they give you like 5 things. Like they're egregious. Like they're nasty.
But I do I don't want it to be that, right?
Sure.
I don't want it to be that. Yeah, I also don't want it to be that.
But they made a commitment to that, right? Yeah. Go on, Sean.
Yeah, they already said that there will be things you can buy outside of the game. Like they already have like the few pets or few mats. So there'll definitely be some stuff for sale, but they said it's going to be a limited amount, and like there will be a lot of in-game stuff for you to collect.
And I don't mind there being like cosmetic, like, oh, you get like the ultra super bed or like a really cool chandelier or something. But I don't want them to say you can buy like an extra floor.
No, but
or,
here's
like,
the thing. Because unlike The Sims, where I can't take my simoleons and buy the content pack, you can do that with WoW.
That's true. You can buy
if you really want an extra floor scrap, yes, there might be the shortcut that you just pay with your wallet.
Yeah.
Or it might be, hey, you have to go earn 1 million gold. And, you know, just like playing Animal Crossing, it took me, I literally had to pay that fucking raccoon back like $16 billion
He said some
to get my 5th room, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that was the gameplay loop, and I was 100% happy with doing that.
Yeah.
You know, like Scrap, I obviously would love if they made an Animal Crossing in a gameplay loop out of this, where it's like, you know, you go outside and you have to clean the weeds out, and you know, every time of year something else is right. I love that idea, but I will say that it was a little chory. That sometimes I was like not happy about having to log in and doing it.
But you wouldn't like necessarily have to. I feel like Animal Crossing gets a little intense because I feel like the Animal Crossing mindset is like I need to complete everything. I need to have like all the shit. Like it's not a game you can play casually. I feel like.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could play casual. You just wouldn't get all the things that, you know, like I remember you had to like cross-pollinate flowers.
Yeah, that's the stuff I'm not going to engage with.
No, but that's where I really engaged in Animal Crossing. I was like, holy shit, there's a purple flower and I have to take a blue and a red one and, you know, put them next to each other and maybe, just maybe I'll get like that was like,
wow.
Now, granted, Animal Crossing, you were locked into time. Like you could change it in the system settings, but like it would flag your game for cheating.
Yeah.
But I would definitely engage with that stuff.
Well, that's just bringing me to the point, like, to monetization. You're thinking about the monetization worries. I mean, this is essentially, if they make stuff seasonal, this is like another trading post. Like, trading post keeps people subbed because it's like you are gonna miss something if you miss a month. Like you're not gonna be able to get that stuff if you miss a month. I feel like it's the same thing. If they can say like, oh, in the summer you can get these specific flowers and these specific fish and stuff. It's like, well, I don't want to unsub during the summer, even though there's no fucking patch and everybody's not playing WoW, because I still like I don't want to miss out on the fish, you know.
If they're putting development resources against this, they have to get a return, right? And it's just.
But think of the trading post. The trading post has like really high quality stuff, and they're putting out new models and everything, and it's literally just to keep you subbed for another month. And like I could see them doing something like with this.
The dev work Lithium is going to come from the start, and then after that, it will really just be on the art team, wouldn't it?
I mean, it depends on the addition of features and functionality and things like that, but there's just a lot. The trading post is full of recolors and things that stuff bothers me.
But every single month we have something that's like a brand new, not a recolor. Like every month we have we have a thing. Oftentimes a couple things, like a mount and a armor set.
A series, like
I thought by now they would have gotten lazy with the trading post, but like we're getting fucking chihuahuas, man. That is some high quality shit.
Chihuahuas. Oh my god.
And the wolf Kigus and stuff, like those are so cute. I mean, and those are like that's a totally new model that they made that has to fit on every stupid character with all their stupid snouts and ears and shit. Like that is not cheaply made content, I feel like. That's my personal opinion.
I engaged heavily with the Legion artifact system, trying to get every color and variant of it. And granted, that was a weapon, so it was a really big deal. But I'm telling you, like the beds and the hell, like the paintings. Imagine if like there were paintings where you could only get them you know, like the Picassos out there that are like super
Imagine,
rare and super hard to
like
get.
The Sims, you had to work on your painting skill, and like you would get like missions, like, oh, you have to go to Thousand Needles and paint a bluff, and you sit there, you fly over there, and you paint like a bluff, and you get a point. It's like, okay, now you've unlocked like all the desert paintings or something. Like, there's so much shit they could do.
Here's something else I'd want from it, and this is something Rust, if anyone's ever played it, does really well.
I have.
Like Rust, you can actually just paint on a canvas with your mouse and, you know, paint whatever you want.
Well, that could be a problem.
It could be, but at the end of the day, this is an instance where you're only allowed to enter if you are like somehow connected to that person, right? I'm willing to bet you won't be able to just like, you know, you might be in a random neighborhood, but you won't be able to walk into their random house, not without invitation, I would assume.
Yeah.
So like, you know, at the end of the day, like, buyer beware. This is your doing. But even Animal Crossing lets you do the same thing. And Animal Crossing is a kid's game, and you know Nintendo's super protective about all that shit.
That's true.
So
I mean, you're gonna see all my Jackbox diagrams up on the walls, man.
Well, I was thinking more of like what's that? Like it's not Second Life, but like the newer one that everybody plays, where they'll like make like, oh, come in here for the XXX sex dungeon. You know,
it's like thing?
For kids. So, yeah, dude, and like kids can get in and they can look at porn on the walls or whatever. It's like a bit, and it's like kids are playing.
That sounds like a Roblox scenario.
Roblox. That's the game. Sorry, Roblox. Yeah.
Roblox.
I don't think a lot. Yes, I just think a problem. I don't think a lot of kids play WoW though, so it's probably
all right.
fine.
Well, anyways, all right, Shani, do you have anything you'd want to see tech that comes out of this that maybe even makes it into like raids and dungeons?
I don't know about that, but I would really like the idea of somehow working together as a neighborhood. If they brought a thing out like that, you could put your own profession shops in your neighborhood, and the more you like use them or shop from them, somehow you get like discounts towards things, just like less mats or whatever.
Neighborhood
like,
cookout, dude.
Yeah, or like cookout.
Like if they had more stuff like within your neighborhood, you could build like a guild hall and like a picnic area and parks and like really make it a full neighborhood. I think that
block party.
I think that would be really cool.
You could technically build a guild hall, assuming that you're allowed to buy more than one house.
Yeah.
Right? Because you could build a guild hall in like the center as like, let's say I'm the owner, but I give you guys access to it, because I think they said your friends can access it.
Yeah, the RP part of it, not that I like super RP or anything, but I think it'd be cool, like even if they say they let you put like a blacksmith shop in your house, and that's what your house is, and you're like, you know, the guild blacksmith, and when people want stuff, they come over and you're like just chilling, waiting for them, and you interact like, hey, can you build it? Like just all that part of it I think would be fun, because they're always like, we got to get WoW back to being like people spending more time together.
Yeah, the RP element of it is off the charts.
RP element is like they're set for life, like you know. But I need a little bit more than that, because
I would imagine if you could make a wedding chapel.
No,
and
you
could
get married.
I'm picturing like if there's like a guild hall situation, is that like, oh, you can have like a little auction house area, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna walk up the road, like, oh hey Shawnee, I see him mowing his lawn. I'm like, I'm just going to the auction house. Do you want me to grab you anything? I'll put it in your mailbox on the way back. Like that would be so fun, so cool.
Yeah, I think like depending on how I don't know, I'm floored at how good this is, and this
looks
is like
so good.
To me, like the appetizer, like if this is the first thing you're showing me, and I'm like, there's more to come that can be a lot better. I think like sky's the limit for it. I totally understand people's apprehension about it though, because like
this has squashed everything for me, man.
But like like anyone that was apprehensive about it, and then seeing this and still being, I would say like I understand if you're apprehensive, less apprehensive. Would make
I'm on
sense.
the fence. I'm on the fence. You know why? Because just because you see videos of a guy doing a thing doesn't mean that the thing is real.
You know what?
No
way. So like I understand.
Can you go out there and do that right now?
This is what I'll say. I understand where you're coming from, because I definitely like live gameplay videos when I see like new game coming out and it's just all cut screen.
Yeah.
I always try to find video. For me, the difference is this looks like someone's on like a PTR version of the house, and it's not art that just made the game.
Well, hold on,
it's
hold
not
on,
like a cinematic.
can I understand this correctly, Lithian? Your question is, can we go out and do this right now?
He needs to see it with his hands to, you know,
Yeah,
like
you
to
can't.
get it.
You can't. This is all in dev, and it. I mean, you could put a video together showing some of this stuff, but it doesn't mean the interaction is real.
Yeah, but listen, I
until
feel
it
like
comes
What do you
out.
mean? Hold on. What do you mean it's not? Like, we're literally watching the interaction in the UI.
Yeah.
Bro, just because
It's not like a pre-rendered video of like.
But how do you know? How do you know?
We see the
No,
mouse.
that is not a pre-rendered video. And I do agree with
Come
Frank, because
on,
I bet
man.
they already use these development
I feel
tools, like for artists
I feel,
and stuff.
Lithium, this is one time I feel like you're trolling
What
me, and
are
I'm
you
too
talking
dumb
about?
to realize it. Because like
I
I
wanna-
feel like this
all
is.
I'm saying is you can doctor a lot of things.
Oh
I
my
need
God.
to be if I see it when I jump on PTR when this is
I'm not gonna
available in
bait.
PTR.
I'm not gonna bite. This is not gonna happen.
No, I
you
want to
don't-
bite. Because
you don't have to.
here's the thing, I do recognize that other games do this. Like, I mean, getting No Man's Sky or whatever, they promise a ton, they show a ton, and then they don't deliver. But I don't think like WoW has done that.
No, but even
like,
then,
when
Scrap,
they-
No Man's Sky has
Yeah.
been like the greatest comeback story for a game ever.
No, it took like way too long. But
Scrap.
I don't want that to happen without.
Scrap.
No, I know it's a
Scrap.
bad example. It's a bad example.
Okay.
I'm saying that like when they showed us Dragonflying and
Frank's
it
gonna
looked
bite on
sick.
that.
Yeah, Dragonflying looks sick, and they delivered exactly what they showed. You know, they showed us Drive, and they delivered it exactly what they
Hold
showed.
on.
Like when they're
But
ready to
that's
show
exactly
it.
what they're doing
Well,
here.
No, that's what
They're-
I'm agreeing with you,
no.
Frank. I'm agreeing with you, Frank. I don't think when has WoW not delivered on something that they showed us like a new UI for,
Yeah.
and then they
They're-
just didn't
Well,
deliver it?
Garrison,
They're showing us
Garrison a little bit, but
Oh, I wasn't
Oh.
following the dev then, so.
Garrison was terrible. They're showing us something. It's yeah, I love my Garrison. I go to it all the time.
It's like there's some great.
When I see it, when I can interact with it myself, I'll be either impressed or sad. So we'll see.
I think
We'll
there's
see.
no reason to think that they
Lithium.
can't develop
No,
this.
but even then, there was
these
no reason
tools.
that they had to give us these little video snippets. They could have very easily just taken a screenshot and tried to convey this. They went, no, let's show them we put our money where our mouth is, right?
Yeah.
This is the tool
here's
in
the thing.
action a year from where it's going to be released. Like the only thing they say that's subject to change is the UI, right?
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong. But if I'm not,
I think you're
I'm gonna
being.
clip this and
Yeah.
give you a good I told you so.
When you're wrong,
Yeah, and that's
Lithian.
okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
I'm okay with
I feel
that.
like I'm normally the person who's like not giving Blizzard an inch like with this stuff, but I think like if it ships like this, assuming they ship it, launch it with like a lot of stuff, which they have so fucking much. Like if you go into any house in Halifal, it is fucking packed with detail. Like they can easily say, okay, let's give me all the Halifal models for all the houses. There will be like 150 just from the Halifal stuff, and they're just like cups and books and blah blah blah. They already have all these assets. They just need to say, okay, here they are. Have them.
All I'm saying is they set a bar up here, and now they have to deliver on that. And I hope they do.
They will deliver on this.
I think that the bar was set like, and I'm visualizing. You guys can't see it, but like right at the middle, they just shot it to the fucking ceiling.
I agree.
I think they're going to even break through that ceiling when we're all said and done and we've seen everything come out, because this is enough for me to say you guys crushed it. And again, everything else could be flat and it would still be amazing.
You didn't even mention the wallpaper. We didn't even talk about that this time. You could do the wallpaper and the floors like the Sims. It's sick. It's
okay, hold on. So I ask you, what is the question of the week? What is the one? I have another one that I just thought of, so I'll let you go first. But what is the one thing that you think could come out of this?
Another hour.
So I was gonna. That's because you're talking about No Man's Sky.
I didn't talk about No Man's Sky.
So I was gonna say Guildhall. Shawnee obviously beat me to that, but I had one before that I thought was less realistic. But I'll just throw it out there since he took mine. With the tools to create a layout, I think it would be cool if there was like a Mario Maker dungeon kind of thing you could do. That would be really cool.
And then so good.
Do my own Torghast.
Yeah, you could like rate
like imagine that you could just do a Mario Maker is I think a perfect example of it, where it's like, hey, here's a couple dungeon themes, right? So maybe they give you like a cave area and a sky area, whatever, right? And they just say like, this is not for any gear, this is not for anything other than make something fun for your friends and go fucking crazy, right? Yeah. Set a timer, set the count, set the the numerics, kind of like Divinity Original Sin allows you to essentially make your entirely own Dungeons and Dragons theme. It gives you a map and it lets you make like zones on the map. I'm so blown away by that feature, by the way. I still think that's like one of the best things ever made. I think, Ioski, that yes, it may be very unlikely to happen, but imagine if they did, where you could just go to Quasi's website, go to, you know, Dratnos' website where he made a dungeon.
Yeah.
And like, they'd be making tons of content for everyone to play, and it wouldn't have any player power to associate with it. It'd be just for fun, for, again, Mario Maker-esque. That's insane of a good idea. Like, that is so good.
Like, they could rate it by quality and they can rate it by difficulty. So Dratnos and like Max could be like, we're gonna try the highest rated, hardest dungeon and see if we can beat it. And
user submitted dungeons.
Yeah, you've seen those Mario Maker levels where it's like the most insane level ever imagined.
I've never played or bought Mario Maker. I watched like 10 hours of Mario Maker content every week, and I've been doing it since Mario Maker came out. Like it's an endless fun. Like it.
Dude, that is a great idea. And again, it's unlikely, but you know, maybe 5 years from now, they say, well, okay, you know, we've got player housing all sorted out, and it's pretty much on its own. Yeah, why not? Like, if they release that, I promise you, I would spend every waking moment trying to make the perfect dungeon by my standard.
Is this gonna be healthy for us, Frank?
Oh yes, it is going to feed all the things that I love about.
They're making it the ultimate game.
It's not going to be healthy.
So remember we were talking about BlizzCon?
Yeah.
I ran it by the wife, and she was like, "All right, have fun." So we're going BlizzCon.
You think in 18 months, like we're gonna have not only this will be released by then, I think. But maybe they like have like this huge seminar about this huge seminar about player housing where they go like, okay, cool. So we got 1.0 out. Here's what's to come, and it's all the things we've just talked about, and we're all like just crying and weeping in our seats.
Here's what I want for BlizzCon is they better have a whole room that's just set up like this, and we can actually move tables around.
That's so great.
Did we like in the news? Did we miss the big news that they're putting in their own kind of? It's in PTR. Trying to think. It's kind of trying to get rid of different weak auras.
We did talk about it briefly. I closed. It was last week we talked about it, but I closed the window just because I said in our pre-show, I was like, I don't know if there's enough about this right now that I want to talk about it, so I was going to save it for like next week or the week after. It is on the PTR now. However, there are some. We won't go into it right now, but long and short of it, no, there is. We did talk about a week ago.
Okay.
But yes, we did also mention, Shawnee, that I think they're only just beginning to cook on what they're going to try to do for UI. Okay, one other thing I thought of. Imagine a raid where, like, I'm going to call it an instance. Neighborhood. No, well, not only that, but like maybe there's just like a raid where there's all this debris on the ground, and you have to kind of play like a mini Tetris game of stacking it in a different.
Oh
like,
my god,
that tech could exist
with the gimbal. Like you actually using it in the raid.
No, I'd say like it'd probably be more of like the basic, like everything would snap, but you have to snap it in a way that like. You make a way through a maze or whatever. I'm
not a developer. I don't know anything about programming, but that sounds like something that would break the game. Like that, then I'm starting to have lessons worrying.
Could I bring a bunch of my friends and just wreck your house and destroy all your stuff?
If we give you access to it, yeah.
That's what was something that's kind of fun about playing Minecraft, or like we were playing Raft, is that like I would prank people's houses and rooms. Like I would come and I would put papers all over the floor, or like for holidays and stuff, I would go to my friend's house and I'd dye all their sheep like orange and black for Halloween. Like there's got to be pranking would be a sick thing to bring. And griefing, griefing,
prank.
Yeah, grief prank. It's a very soft line.
Halloween should be able to act people's houses.
They would probably maybe give you a feature to where you can let other people edit it, but definitely there would need to be some gentleman's agreements about certain things.
Shawnee has to let me put him in a hole and dump lava on his head.
On your discussion of Raft, so just for those who aren't part of the community, we once played through Raft with like 8 of us.
Played Raft.
No, but like 8 of us. Like there's Auntie, Rock, you, me, Shawnee, you were there, Leo was there,
and Flux.
And then maybe even some more people. And like I built this mega raft that had like 8 skyscrapers on it.
So stupid. Do you have a screenshot of it? We could put it in.
No, I maybe if I log into the game but I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay. But the point is though that like everyone's skyscraper was horrifically different. And I only imagine that that's what we're going to be facing against.
I think it's going to be Raft is going to be similar. And I think it's also going to be like Raft in that hopefully you can gather all the wood and I can just make all the chairs. Like, Frank would be like chests of wood and he'd be like working on like progressing the story and I'd just be stealing wood out of that chest to make different chairs for my penthouse.
Oh, don't worry, Flex and I will be coming around as HOA and keeping an eye on all your yards, your houses.
Yes,
like,
I love it.
If it's anything like Raft, like Valheim, where you have to go out and just like farm it, I get so wrapped up in those games.
Yeah, you do.
If we have to go collect lumber, if we have to go collect, ore, whatever, I will be so happy to just like mindlessly listening to podcasts and going out and collecting it. I don't know why I'm that way. I am not happy about it.
It's the small victories,
Bro,
Well,
I
got
the lumberjack title, man.
Yeah, so you're a designated lumber guy, and Frank will do everything else.
That's my signal to say we need to move on and close this the podcast up.
And I will build chairs for my house specifically, and that'll be my job.
Okay, well, like I said, we appreciate everyone being accommodating on the fact that we just had this cut in the middle of a 2-day long podcast. Any last words from Mayaski?
On the spot.
No, not this time. I got nothing.
Fuck, man.
Unfortunately.
All right. Any last words from Scrapclaw?
So many, but I won't give you any of them.
Okay. Any last words from Lithian?
Go team win, and let's do keys.
Yeah, I want to get one key in before
tired.
we go to bed. And of course, last but certainly not least, because he has the most important last word about player housing, Shawnee, any last words?
They've exceeded my expectations.
Blown it out of the water,
man. Yeah, like sky high. And it was super fun to be back. And you guys are all lovely people.
Can I ask that we, especially I know Shawnee will, but like all 5 of us, we go onto the forums and put the ideas that we just talked about into the forums, just even if it's like a long shot that they will make a build your own Mythic plus dungeon or whatever.
Can we get ChatGPT just to summarize as part of the podcast and make a post for us?
Wow. Scrap, however you decide to admin your work, I will leave to you, okay?
I'm not going to do any of it. So.
Yeah, you're not even going to admin it. You're not going to ask AI assistant to try to do the work for you.
I wouldn't even begin to know how to do that. You know how I am with technology. So.
Well, on that bombshell, thank you everyone for listening to the podcast. Watch us on Twitch, twitch.tv/MDLFrank. Lithian, can we please fucking get that co-host set up? And of course, you can visit our website, mythicdungeonleague.com. The podcast for the rest of us will soon have a home in either Elwyn Forest or Durotar. But until then, we will see you.
Durotar.
We will see you all on the next episode. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.